Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is story about what if Naruto gets strong by himself part 1. Before I start, please do support for more amazing content and comments for part 2. Do consider to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends and check out the description as well. Let's start the video. Naruto ran and ran, fast as his little body would take him. The drunken villagers followed him. He wasn't allowed in the orphanage, so he tried to stay in the shadows. However, a drunken villager had stumbled upon him and cried out, "The demon brat is attacking me." Now Naruto was running for his life. Noticing an alleyway, Naruto took it, hoping to disappear in front of the villagers. Only they followed, and the alleyway appeared to be a dead end with toxin waste. "This is it for you, demon. This took me a lot of money to get, but I was saving it for you," a drunken village replied, pulling out 3 exploding tags. He threw them onto the waste, and soon they gave a massive explosion. The last thing Naruto saw was a great white light, then he knew no more. Konoha Hospital. Many doctors and nurses were rushing about, healing the villagers who got caught in the explosion. The head of the hospital told the Hokage the villagers who were caught in the radiation blast would be perfectly fine. When the Hokage asked about Naruto, the nurse, who was the only one to try and do anything, said she was able to heal all of his injuries, but she was unable to prevent the damage to his eyes. He would be blind for the rest of his life. The Sandaime Hokage wanted to know what happened. Apparently the villagers claimed the boy attacked them, then ran off laughing. They ran after him to teach him a lesson. When they cornered him in an alley, the demon smirked and started to glow red before the massive explosion. Unfortunately for the villagers, the Sandaime Hokage didn't believe one word of their story. He sent them to Ibiki where, after a few short hours of torture, admitted the boy didn't do anything except run from them. Another village threw the exploding tags into the toxin waste that caused the explosion. The Sandaime Hokage walked into Naruto's room, where a cloth was wrapped around his eyes. It pained the old man to see a young boy will never see daylight again. 8 years later. Naruto was fast asleep in Iruka's classroom. When it came to other students, Iruka would yell at them. But he was writing things on the board, so it was okay for Naruto. However, Naruto could never keep a good grade or even pass the weapon practical well. He did, however, pass the jutsu test with flying colors when the test came around. That is the only why he stayed in the academy. "Okay, who can explain the problem on the board?" "Uchiha Sasuke?" asked Naruto. Sasuke replied. Ever since Naruto first revealed he was blind, Sasuke always picked on him and asked the instructors to have Naruto read from the books, or do problems on the board. Naruto never found this funny or amusing and picked fights with Sasuke. While many of the students would say it wasn't right for Sasuke to be picking on Naruto, Sasuke's fan club would say differently, saying it was Naruto's idiotic self for unable to read. "Sasuke, you know I can't do that. Naruto is blind, therefore, he can't read. You read it." Sasuke pouted before reading away. Naruto would have laughed, but he remained silent as he listened instead. Iruka looked at Naruto, and he was suddenly drawn back when Naruto first came into his class. Flashback. A young blonde boy walked in with a black cloth wrap around eyes. He walked in wearing standard black clothing. In his hand was a wooden stick that hit the teacher's desk. Iruka felt his eyebrow twitch when the boy hit his desk and didn't even say sorry. "Don't be so mad, Iruka. This is your new student, Uzumaki Naruto. I think he will become a splendid shinobi indeed," the Sandaime Hokage replied with a smile. "Ho Hokage-sama." Iruka gasped out loud as the Sandaime Hokage walked in behind Naruto. "Hokage-sama, may I speak with you in private?" "Of course." Naruto walked up the stairs to the back of the class. Sasuke, however, stuck his foot out, causing Naruto to fall face first into the stairs. When he sat up, he was bleeding above the eye. While Naruto was trying to find his stick, Sasuke picked it up and threw it out the window. Nearly everyone was laughing. The only people who wasn't was Shino and Hinata. They both realized that Naruto was blind. Sasuke gave several kicks to Naruto. When Iruka and the Hokage came back in, they saw Sasuke punch Naruto in the mouth. Iruka started yelling at Sasuke and told him that Naruto was blind, so he shouldn't be picking on Naruto. Hinata, finally taking pity, led Naruto to her seat where she had him sit down next to her. Flashback ends. Iruka got lost in his own little world that the entire class was looking at him. "Sorry, well done, Sasuke. Now for tomorrow's Genin exam, it will be on the clone jutsu. Everyone do their best," Iruka replied as he dismisses the class. Naruto, as usual, was the last to leave. Iruka was worried about the boy. He hated to admit it, but a blind boy living on his own was terrible. He was curious to know how he even managed to survive. The only thing he knew for sure was Anbu always brought the boy food. Everything else was a mystery. Naruto POV. Naruto jumped from roof to roof observing his surroundings. No one was watching him or looking at him. That was good for him, he no longer had to play poor blind boy in front of everyone. Naruto landed on his apartment window and entered it. Tomorrow was the genin exam and he was wondering how well he should do. Naruto merely touched a necklace on top of his dresser before giving a sigh. He wondered what it would be like to see again. However, he knew it was impossible. The power of sight left him long ago, and now, he gained another sight. Naruto went to bed still lost in thought. Okay, Naruto, you're up. Naruto, who watched each of classmates perform the jutsu, judged them individually. The greatest threat had to come from Sasuke. Despite his dislike of the Uchiha survivor, he clearly was going to be a threat. Naruto walked in and made the correct seals. In the end, one clone stood standing just like him. You fail! Iruka yelled. Iruka, give Naruto a break. He created a clone. His control was not bad. Surely we can pass him. Mizuki, I'm afraid not. The minimum requirement is 3 clones. I cannot pass him. Iruka, Naruto is blind. He did his very best. Truly you can let him pass. I'm sorry, Naruto can try again next year. Naruto walked away. However, he paused at the door as he listens to Mizuki's heartbeat. He was up to something, that much was certain. Naruto shrugged it off and walked out the room. What shocked Iruka was that Naruto didn't feel his way towards the door, he just walked out. He wondered, was Naruto as blind as many believed him to be? Naruto was sitting on his favorite swing looking a little disappointed. He could hear all the children laughing and being praised by their parents. Naruto suddenly felt a presence near him. Mizuki-sensei? Come with me, Naruto. Naruto got up and followed Mizuki. Mizuki led him to a balcony where he could see the sunset. Iruka wasn't trying to be mean or hard on you, Naruto. He is only trying to make you strong. Doesn't seem that way, Naruto muttered. Iruka was just like you. An orphan living on his own. While he understands that, he doesn't try to pick on you because of your handicap. Sure doesn't seem like it. Well, what if I told you there was another way to pass the genin exam? It isn't told much, but I'll let you in on it. 5 minutes later, Naruto left Mizuki curious to know what he was up to. To be safe, Naruto was going to go along with Mizuki's suggestion. But at the same time he would be on his guard. Iruka, wake up, Iruka. Mizuki, what are you doing here at this hour? It's Naruto. Naruto's stolen the sacred scroll of sealing. You mean the forbidden scroll of sealing? Hokage-sama is calling the ninja together. Let's go. Hokage-sama, that scroll contains hundreds of jutsu and secrets of our village. If one of our enemies gets a hold of that scroll, it would be the end of the village. A senior jounin shouted. The Hokage didn't want to believe it. It didn't seem possible that Naruto could have stolen anything from the Hokage's vault. Wait a minute, everyone. Think about who we are talking about here. This is Naruto, who, might I remind everyone here, is blind. He couldn't have broken into the Hokage's vault without help. Naruto is helpless without someone standing beside him. Besides, he couldn't have known the location of the Hokage's vault. Someone is either tricking or using Naruto. I would have to agree with Iruka. However, find Naruto, and bring him here at once. We must learn who told him about the scroll of sealing. The Sandaime ordered as he waved his arm. Only smoke showed where the shinobis once stood. Trust Iruka to ruin everything. However, they'll never find Naruto. Once I kill the demon fox, the scroll of sealing will be mine. Mizuki thought with a twist smile. Forest. Naruto was lying on his back panting. This type of training nearly tired him out. However, he was glad he did it. He learned something highly useful. Naruto. What are you doing here, Iruka-sensei? Naruto asked. Iruka looked shocked, but guessed it was his voice that gave him away. Naruto, what are you doing with the scroll of sealing? Who told you about it? Iruka demanded. Mizuki. Told me everything, although I think he is up to something. Naruto couldn't finish as shurikens appeared and nearly hit both Iruka and Naruto. Naruto, acting fast, shoved Iruka out the way. Nice reflexes. Mizuki complimented. Figure you would do something like this. Naruto replied, standing up. Mizuki at once felt uneasy, Even though Naruto was looking at him blind, he felt Naruto could see him. Oh really, how did you know, demon? You don't know how my powers work? No, of course you don't. Think of it this way, Mizuki-sensei, I'm a human lie detector. I can hear your heartbeat. Not only that, even though I'm blind. Naruto disappeared before reappearing in front of Mizuki. I can still see you. Mizuki jumped back before he realizes that Naruto gave him a powerful kick to the jaw. Iruka watched in amazement as Naruto quickly overpowered Mizuki. How the fuck did you do that? You're blind. If you've been blind for as long as I have, you'll learn there are other means to survive. That is why you cannot defeat me. Mizuki withdrew the big shuriken on his back and launches it at Naruto. Naruto didn't even flinch. You just don't get it, do you? Naruto replied as he smacks the shuriken away with his fist. Iruka and Mizuki couldn't help but look shocked. I have excellent chakra control. All I did was send enough chakra towards my fist to knock away the shuriken. Apparently you are too dumb to understand this though. Is this really Naruto? I knew Naruto could have always done better, but I didn't expect him to be this good. It's like he can see Mizuki. He can actually see Mizuki. However, how Naruto is blind and cannot see? The cloth around his eyes is proof enough. What is going on? Mizuki was panting. Every attack, every time he tried kill the blonde, he would always counter and give Mizuki even more damage. How was he doing it? I'm a human lie detector. I can hear your heartbeat. Super hearing. Is that how he is able to defeat me so easily? If he is able to hear my heartbeat, then maybe he could hear the truth in my words. Mizuki thought with an evil smile. Naruto, do you want to know the truth? Truth? What truth? Naruto demanded. About why everyone hates you. Naruto was most curious. He could never understand why people hated him so much. No, Mizuki, it's forbidden. 12 years ago, the Yondaime Hokage defeated the Kyuubi no Yoko. However, the stories about him killing the great beast weren't true. In fact, the truth is he sealed it in you. Now you understand, don't you, Naruto? The reason why people hate you is you're the Kyuubi no Yoko reincarnation. Naruto froze when he heard the words. He didn't know if they were true or not. Mizuki truly believed he was a demon. Before Iruka or Mizuki could say anything, Naruto disappeared along with the scroll of sealing. Damn, that brat took the scroll. Oh well, I'll just find him. After I kill you. By the way, Iruka, why are you even defending the demon? I mean, he is nothing more than a bloodlust and a cold-blooded killer. Truly, even you understand he is nothing more than a demon. You're right, Mizuki, a demon is like that. However, that's not how Naruto is. You're forgetting something about the Kyuubi no Yoko. No matter how many times we damage it, it always heals itself right away. If Naruto was the Kyuubi no Yoko, why did Naruto lose his eyesight? Why didn't they just repair themselves? No, Naruto is a shinobi of the leaf. Mizuki gave a sigh. Apparently you're just as stupid and naive as always, Iruka. Oh well, you know, I wasn't going to kill you until after I kill Naruto. But I've changed my mind. Mizuki pulled out his last large shuriken and started spin it in his hand. Iruka smiled and thought he was going to die. What he didn't expect was for Naruto to reappear and kick Mizuki back. Naruto? When did you? Iruka asked in shock. Even though Mizuki's words spoke true to his heart, so did you. I knew there was something else, so I did not leave but hid in the branches above the two of you. Iruka was shocked to hear Naruto was hiding just a few feet above them. This is not a genin fighting ability. Not even Chunin. How good is Naruto? So the demon finally steps out. However, you cannot defeat me. You never even graduated, and I'm a full-rank Chunin. Really? Then see if you can beat this, Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. The Shadow Clone Technique. When did he learn something like that? I heard it's a jutsu that takes large amount of chakra along with solid clones. Where did you learn this jutsu? Mizuki half demanded, half frightened replied. From the scroll of sealing. What? Mizuki replied. Iruka was just as curious and shocked. I have other methods of reading and writing. Just because I never showed anyone in class doesn't mean I can't read. You're finished, sensei. Several minutes later, Mizuki laid on the ground twitching as Naruto stood above him. You alright, Iruka-sensei? Yeah, Naruto, how many surprise can you have? More than you realize. So you mean, all those times you couldn't have taken the written test? Yeah, I could have performed it. But I didn't want to raise any suspicion around me, so I couldn't to pretend to be helpless. After all, the element of surprise should always be a ninja's best weapon. Irika couldn't help but agree. Naruto, come here, Irika replied. Naruto walked forward, unsure what Irika had for him. However, he knew he wasn't going to be harmed. When Naruto realized that Irika was tying something around his head, Naruto knew at once what it was. Congratulations, you graduated, Naruto. Naruto smiled and hugged Irika. Irika smiled and returned the hug. 3 days later. Naruto was fast asleep on desk. His cloth was gone from his eyes and was replaced by his forehead protector. Numerous students glared at him, but he didn't care. Much to his disappointment, Sasuke sat next to him. However, he said nothing. Naruto, however, let out a groan when Ino and Sakura burst through the door shouting "I win," in a loud voice. How either of them became shinobis, he never knew nor wanted to know. Sakura was the first noticed Sasuke in the corner, and ran to go and seat next to him. She then noticed Naruto was in her seat. Naruto and Nobaka, get out of my... Sakura never got all the words out as Naruto set a back fist into her stomach, launching her to the other side of the room. Sakura got up holding her stomach and moaning. Can't you ever shut up? I mean, just one morning, I would like to enjoy the peace and quiet, Naruto retorted in a cold voice. Sakura was about to retaliate when Irika walked in. Enough, Sakura, take your seat. As for everyone else, congratulations on graduating. You're all now official genin for the Konoha. Now, I will announce your teams. Remember, you will all be sorted into a 3-person squad led by Jounin. Now then, Team 1. So, what does everyone think about this year's recruits? I'm surprised someone like Naruto was able to hit Sakura so well and so powerful. The red-eye female Jounin replied. Really, Kurenai, it's not that big of a mystery. She was being very loud, no doubt a fangirl as well, a chain smoker replied. Asuma, don't judge so quickly. After all, the saying goes, don't judge a book by its cover. Right, a Cyclops replied. Kakashi, enough? Let's watch. I'm curious to know how your team will react, the Sandame replied. Everyone turned towards the crystal ball. Team 7, Uzumaki Naruto, Haruno Sakura. Sakura yelled loudly while Naruto moaned, and Uchiha Sasuke. Sasuke said nothing, Naruto banged his head on the table while Sakura cheered and teased Ino. Team 8, Hyuga Hinata, Inuzuka Kiba, and Abraham Shino. Skipping Team 9 since I have no idea what the names are. Team 10, Nara Shikamaru, Yamanaka Ino, and Akimichi Choji. Ino nearly pulled out her hair as she heard she would be teaming up with the laziest and fattest kid in the school. Wait here for your Jounin instructors. 2 hours later, every Jounin instructor came in and took their teams away. The only team left was Team 7. Naruto had his head down, while Sakura was not only looking at her precious Sasuke-kun with stars in her eyes, but getting very annoyed by the tardiness of their Jounin instructor. Sasuke-kun, do you know where our Jounin instructor is? He's leaning on the door outside the classroom, Baka. Naruto replied in a calm down. Sakura jumped down and tried to smack him in the head only for her hand to hit a log. Baka, Naruto replied calmly. You shut up, blind boy. You can't even fight. How you became a shinobi is beneath me. Most likely the instructors felt sorry for you and allowed you to pass, Sakura retaliated. Kakashi decided at that moment to appear. Naruto was gripping his kunai tightly and was about to kill the stupid girl. Meet me on the roof in 10 minutes. Kakashi disappeared in a whirl of smoke, and surprisingly, so did Naruto. Sasuke, a bit surprised, quickly left before Sakura knew her true love was gone. 10 minutes later, Team 7 sat down for their first team meeting. Okay, first let's all try and get to know each other. How about you go first? Kakashi nodded towards Naruto. Sensei, do you like picking on Naruto no Baka too? Sakura asked. However, her question seemed to be more of hope than concern. Kakashi was about to answer when Naruto sent a back fist into Sakura's nose, breaking it and causing it to bleed badly. No, I don't. Picking on someone just because they cannot see like the rest of us is something I do not like or forgive, Kakashi replied, giving a dark look at Sakura, who was scared shitless at the glare of her sensei. Why don't you go first, sensei? Naruto asked. Me, well, I'm Hatake Kakashi. My likes and dislikes, never really thought about them. I have many hobbies, as for dreams for the future, never really thought about it. Kakashi replied in a bored tone. Uzumaki Naruto. I don't like anything, and hate loud girls. Mostly because they give me the urge to kill them. Naruto replied in a cold manner. Sakura shouted and called an idiot, resulting a kunai bearing itself deep into her shoulder. Sakura, be nice to Naruto. I wouldn't want you to end up in a river. Kakashi replied, hoping to stop Naruto from actually murdering the pink hair. Okay, Pinky, you next. I'm Haruno Sakura. I like giggles, my dream is giggles, my hobbies are giggles, and I hate Ino Pig and Naruto no Baka. Naruto punched her. This time she flew to the rail and hit her head, knocking her unconscious. Blood slowly oozed out from her injury. Kakashi, however, was deeply concerned about the blind blonde shinobi. He didn't seem to have a single piece of regret for his actions against the pink hair. Not only that, he was far stronger and faster than his records claim he was. It even frightened Kakashi seeing how in one blow he easily defeated the pink hair shinobi. Okay, Mr. Broody. Uchiha Sasuke. I really don't like anything, and hate almost everything. I really don't have any hobbies. And I wouldn't call it a dream but an ambition to kill a certain man and to restore my clan. Naruto and Kakashi didn't seem affected by the gloomily shinobi's answer. Okay, meet me tomorrow at Training Ground 9 for some training. But first, I got to get your teammate to the hospital. Kakashi replied, disappearing along with Sakura. The two said nothing and disappeared from where they were sitting. Hokage office. Kakashi appeared in front of the Sandaime. Surprisingly, Asuma and Kurenai were also present. Kakashi, what are you doing here? My god, is that Sakura? Hi. What happened to her? Naruto. Naruto. You're saying Naruto killed her? She isn't dead, but I fear Naruto might kill her one day. She clearly insults, attacks, and does everything possible to make him feel bad about himself. If she did this every day and got away with it, Naruto is close to snapping and will kill her. Today in front of me, whenever she insulted or attacked Naruto in any way she could think of, he retaliated by punching and stabbing her with a kunai. When she told us she hated Naruto just because he was blind and a weakling, Naruto gave her a single punch, and she flew towards the rail, breaking her skull. Naruto shouldn't be that strong. I mean, the strength is not that of a genin's. Kurenai shouted in shock. Hokage-sama. Perhaps it's best if I fail the three of them. Naruto hates both the Uchiha and Haruno. I could see it clearly, he wants to kill them. Kakashi replied as he begs the Sandaime to dismiss Team 7. The Sandaime smoked his pipe before replying. Kakashi, watch over Naruto. His hatred for Haruno Sakura and Uchiha Sasuke is common. They have never shown him any respect or kindness. Sasuke and Sakura pick on him just because he is blind. Ever since they first met him. However, something tells me Naruto is hiding something. Iruka told me, Naruto said, and I quote, surprise is a ninja's greatest element of surprise. I purposely let people view me in a way so I could easily overpower them and take them out without even realizing what hit them. Being blind has helped me with this advantage. The Sandaime replied with a smile. He can see? Kakashi gasped. No, he is completely blind. The doctors and medic ninjas all told me it was impossible to repair and restore his eyesight. However, he must have discovered another means to see. It's the only way to explain how he is able to survive without the ability to see. The three Jounins said nothing but glanced at the Sandaime, curious to know Naruto's secret. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura all walked towards each other. Sakura was wrapped in bandages from her injuries Naruto gave her. She glared at the blonde before jumping onto her Sasuke-kun. Get off me. Sasuke replied as Sakura hugged him like there was no tomorrow. Naruto sighed, knowing full well he was not going to enjoy this team. Naruto took out an apple and ate it. Unlucky for him, Sakura and Sasuke heard the sound of Naruto eating and turned to look at him. Their stomachs starting to grow. What? Naruto demanded when he noticed they were staring at him. You got any more? Sakura demanded in a cold tone. Shut up, whore. Naruto snapped. Sakura was really going to explode. No one called her a whore and got away with it. She was about to say something when Sasuke beat her to it. I didn't eat anything. I was in a rush so I forgot. Can I have some? Sasuke turned his head, clearly asking for food was stinging his pride. No. Naruto replied calmly as he finishes the apple and pulls out another. Sasuke grew a vein in his head and turned to look at Naruto in shock. Clearly you were foolish enough not to prepare your own food and gear. I'm not going to sacrifice my stuff so the two of you can please yourself. Next time, come more prepare. Besides, Kakashi-sensei is here. Naruto replied as he put away his apple. Kakashi Puff appeared with a smilingly eye. Sorry I'm late, but I crossed a black cat and went and took the long way here. Kakashi replied in a cheerful tone. You liar! Sakura screamed. Naruto clinged to his ears painfully. Well now, I didn't tell you all this yesterday because of several incidents that happened yesterday, but I will now inform you of your Genin exam. Genin exam? Sensei, we are already Genin. How did you think we got these forehead protectors? Sakura replied in a bossy tone. Kakashi could now start to see why Naruto hated the young girl. Well, I hate to throw the truth in your face so fast, but that test is merely to see who had potently to become Genin. Your real test is given by your Jounin instructors. Those who fail are sent back to the academy. Now I have here 2 bells. Kakashi holds up 2 bells. The person who fails to get the bells will be sent back to the academy. Kakashi replied. No one said anything. Ready and go. Kakashi orders. Immediately, the 3 Genins scattered, disappearing before Kakashi's eye. For a while Kakashi stood in the middle of the clearing, keeping a close eye on his surroundings. To his surprise, Naruto was the one who was the most quiet and most silent type. Okay, seems like everyone is hidden well. The only question is, who to go after first. Kakashi replied a little too loudly. Kakashi's first thought was to go after Naruto. However, he pushed the thought aside, mostly because he didn't want the blonde to think he was ganging up on his because of his handicap. He decided to test the little girl who was crashing through the area like an elephant looking for her precious Sasuke-kun. Sakura was tripping, breaking and destroying every branch she came across in search for her savior. She stopped short when she noticed their sensei standing and reading a book. Good, he didn't notice me. Now I got to find Sasuke-kun. Sakura. A voice behind her replied. Sakura turns around to see Kakashi holding his hands in a rat seal. Immediately the leaves around Sakura blew in her face. She felt drowsing for a few moments before she suddenly felt full awake. She looks around to see herself standing in the middle of a clearing. Huh! What's going on? Where is Sensei? This is weird, and what was with those leaves? Where did everyone go? Sakura, a voice behind her replied, wondering what was happening. Sasuke-kun! Sakura cried happily until she saw the state of her savior. Her eyes opened wide in fear. Sasuke was on the ground with kunais all over his body. She was going to scream, that was until a figure appeared in front pulling out a sword for a staff. It was Naruto. Naruto followed Kakashi towards Sakura and was shocked to see him sneak up behind her and cast a genjutsu. What was more was she was completely caught in his genjutsu. Unable to break free or even realize she was caught. Naruto walked forward and unsheathed his sword that was hidden as a staff. So pathetic, you can't even protect those important to you. You have no right to become a shinobi of the Hidden Leaf Village. You along with everything you love will perish. Naruto replied in a cold tone before stabbing her with his sword. Sakura for her part looked shocked and looked into Naruto's face. All she felt was cold steel going through her body. She looks down to see Naruto's blade piercing through her stomach. Red blood was dripping. She looks into Naruto's face one more time before the darkness took over. Naruto didn't even seem concerned, he just killed his teammate. He only said one word, that Sakura, before she collapsed. Retribution. Naruto disappeared, leaving the area just as fast as he came. Kakashi jumped down and checked Sakura's pulse. He let out a sigh of relief when he felt vitals. The blow to the stomach was not as lethal as he expected. Apparently Naruto missed. However, Kakashi wondered if he did it on purpose to make her suffer before death. Kakashi reached in his pouch and pulled out a first aid survival kit. He thought he wouldn't need this but was shocked nonetheless that Naruto was so cold-hearted. Apparently his hatred for Sakura was much deeper than Kakashi realized. He would need to talk to both of them about teamwork and working together. Naruto watched Kakashi treat Sakura. To his shock, whatever Kakashi gave Sakura was slowly down the death result. Naruto grinned his teeth. Perhaps he could kill his other teammate. Naruto disappeared with Kakashi looking at the spot Naruto was hanging out. Kakashi immediately thought Naruto was going to go after Sasuke. He finishes healing Sakura the best he could and immediately turned to Sasuke, hoping to stop the blonde from killing him. Luckily for Kakashi, Naruto made no attempt to attack the last Uchiha. He was hiding in the trees almost like he was watching the last Uchiha. Kakashi decided to put the Uchiha in his place before Naruto got violent on him. Something was truly strange about the blonde. Well now, are you willingly to try and get a bell? Kakashi asked the Raven Head. I don't need to try, I know I can get a bell. Sasuke retorted back to Kakashi. Let's see. Sasuke got into a defense stance while Kakashi pulled out his book. He started to read when Sasuke launched 2 kunais and a shuriken at him. Kakashi jumped aside when a pack of shurikens were fired at him after they cut some ninja wire. Not bad. A well-executed trap. Kakashi thought, a little impressed. He was about to dodge them when another wave of shurikens appeared, deflecting Sasuke's shurikens. Both Sasuke and Kakashi looked shocked. Even more shock when Naruto appeared out of nowhere and threw a punch into Sasuke's face. Sasuke blocked the punch, gritting his teeth in anger. Naruto then kicked Sasuke in the gut. Sasuke flew back. Sasuke flipped backwards in midair and landed on the ground. What are you doing, dope? Sasuke demanded. Simple. Only 2 need to pass this test in order to become shinobis. The one who doesn't really need to return to the academy. They can die. Saves a lot of people trouble, don't you think? Naruto replied. Sasuke hated to admit it, but the blonde did have a point. He grew a smirk. Very well, since you clearly are dead weight, how about I take your life? Sasuke cried, forming seals. Katan, Gakakyu no Jutsu. Sasuke cried, launching a fireball at Naruto. Just as Sasuke was going to fire his attack, a hand grabbed him from the ground. Doton, Shinjuzanshu no Jutsu. Sasuke felt himself getting pulled before he knew what happened. He was underneath the ground. Now then, I can't have you two fighting and trying to kill each other, Kakashi replied. Before he could say anything, the alarm went off. Dear me, time's up? Naruto glared at his sensei before relaxing his guard. Naruto, come here, Kakashi asked. Naruto didn't move. He knew what was going on, and he didn't like it. Naruto was tied to the logs while Sakura, who finally regained conscious, and Sasuke sat down in front of him. Well, let me tell the 3 of you your results. Sakura, for someone who is completely obsessed over her teammate, you're an idiot for not sensing genjutsu. Naruto, you need to learn how to control your emotions and not attack your teammates. Sasuke, you need to learn to work with others and show respect. Also, self-control. Kakashi replied in a calm tone. Naruto didn't say anything. If Kakashi had to say how the blonde was feeling, he would say he was bored. On the good news, none of you will be returning to the academy, Kakashi replied. Sakura looked happy, clearly thinking they were going to pass. You all will be returning homes, never to be ninjas again. What in the hell are you talking about? Sakura shouted. Simple, none of you doesn't even have the slightest idea of being shinobis. For instance, Sasuke, you are blind and cannot see others' talent, Kakashi replied in a calm tone. Sasuke got angry and attacked Kakashi. Before Sasuke realized what happened, he was pinned down on the ground by Kakashi. See what I mean? You know nothing about being a shinobi. So I'll tell you 3 a little something, Kakashi replied, reaching for his weapon pouch. He pulled out a kunai and pointed it at Sasuke's neck. Sakura, kill Naruto or I'll kill Sasuke. Sakura looked a little confused. Then she turned happy and pulled out a kunai. Kakashi was shocked she was going to do it when Naruto's legs sprung out and wrapped themselves around her neck, squeezing tightly. Sakura was soon turning blue. Going to kill me, huh? Sorry, whore, but you're not even in my league to touch me, Naruto replied in a cold tone. Sakura gripped his ankles, trying to pull him off. However, Naruto held his grip true and strong. Naruto was about to snap her neck when Kakashi gave him an elbow to the gut, causing Naruto to release his hold on the girl. Sakura collapsed, breathing heavily and massing her neck. The 3 of you are missing my point. This is why I've never had a genin team. You're like all the other losers who hope to be trained by me. None of you know what it means to be a shinobi. I'll give you 3 one more chance. However, this time it will be even harder. However, no one feed Naruto. This is his punishment. Whoever feeds him, fails. Kakashi replied in a cold tone. He disappears from view. Naruto said nothing and started to fidget around. Sasuke and Sakura looked at him when the robes around him suddenly came loose and he stretched his arms around like nothing had happened. You two are really dumb. This exam was a test of teamwork. Working together and improving together was the purpose of this exam. You can't take on the world by yourself. That's why you have a team, Naruto replied calmly. Sasuke and Sakura didn't want to admit, but Naruto made a lot of sense. Naruto pulled out a scroll and unsealed it. A puff of smoke came out and Naruto was soon eating food. I always carry scrolls on me that have food sealed away. It's called survival instincts. Here, don't slouch on me, Naruto replied, throwing them a bag of chips and a drink. Kakashi, who was leaning on the tree, smiled. Maybe not all was lost. But first, he was going to have a little fun. What is this? Who untied Naruto? Team 7 immediately got into a defensive stance. Sensei, we are a team. That means we work together, Sakura replied, getting scared at the glare of her sensei. Oh really? Kakashi demanded. Sasuke and Sakura shook in fear, wondering what he was going to do. Only Naruto remained calm. Then that means you all pass, Kakashi replied in a happy voice. Silence was his answer. Nani! The two of them shouted. Well, I'm glad the two of you thought outside the rules for the sake of your comrade. Naruto, excellent leadership. You put your grudge and hatred aside and work together with two people you wouldn't want to in the first place. This will happen a lot during missions. Best to work with someone and keep them alive, even when you don't like them, then have their death hanging over your shoulder. I want you to take a look at this stone, Kakashi replied as he looks at a green stone in the middle of the ground. No one said anything for a few moments, mostly because the genins didn't know how to respond. However, they looked at the stone nonetheless and waited for their sensei to continue. On this is our heroes. Shinobis who died in the line of battle. Unlike most hidden villages, we respect our fallen comrades no matter how skilled or famous they are. Many of these people you might have never heard from. On the battlefield, there are those who break the rules become trash. However, those who abandoned their friends are worse than trash, Kakashi told them in a harsh tone. Well, congratulations everyone. Team 7 has been made official, Kakashi replied in a smile. Sakura gave a cheer, Sasuke gave an humph, and Naruto walked away. 3 weeks later. Sasuke arrived at point C. This is Sakura. Arrived at point B. There was a moment of silence. This is Naruto, arrived at point A. You're slow dope. Did you get lost? Sasuke replied. At least I didn't lose my pants. Sasuke felt the vein grew and looked down to see if his pants were intact. To his relief, they still were. He suddenly felt angry that Naruto had tricked him. Nice try, dope. You look. I did not. Sasuke retorted more angrily than he intended. You look. Naruto responded with glee. Targets on the move, Sakura replied. She threw an angry look at Naruto. Naruto jumped forward and landed on top of the cat, which responded by scratching him to death. Target capture. Good mission, capture lost pet Tora complete, Kakashi replied calmly. Isn't there any more exciting missions? Sakura screamed into her microphone. All the men froze before collapsing. Their ears went into overdrive. Mission room. Well done. Now, for Team 7's next mission. You have the choice between picking potatoes, babysitting, and walking dogs. Or. No! A banshee screamed. Sakura. Excuse me? The Hokage asked politely, but everyone knew it was a demand. This is for children, not shinobis. We are shinobis who must prove ourselves and show that love rules all. Sakura screamed. Naruto wanted to kill the stupid girl right there. Sasuke looked as if she had a point. He also didn't want to do any more D-rank missions. Kakashi looked nervously at the Sandaime Hokage. I see, well, you do have a point. Shinobis are supposed to take challenges in order to improve their skills. I'm not so sure about show that loves rules all though. However, I will give you a C rank for your hard effort. This shouldn't be too hard for your team, Kakashi. But a challenge nonetheless. You're going to protect someone. Really, who? Who? A prince? A knight in shining armor? The Fire Lord? Sakura asked with excitement. Baka, that's a job for Anbu and Jounins. Naruto muttered. Shut up, Naruto no Baka. Sakura screamed, moving in to punch the blonde in the head, who sidestepped her attack, causing her to trip and fall face first. Baka. Naruto muttered. Sakura was holding her nose in pain, clearly angry at the blonde for sidestepping the attack. Kakashi nervously scratched his head nervously. It was common to see Sakura take out her anger on Naruto, who, somehow, manages to avoid her attacks, causing the pink-haired shinobi to hurt herself. No, but he is important to his country. Come in. The Sandaime replies as the door opens despite Team 7's unusual behavior. Naruto raised his eyebrow. And drunken old man? Wait, his hands and body is heavily built. Not as a ninja, but someone who does carpeting? No, a builder of some kind. What's this? 3 kids? I thought I paid for a good protection. Is this a joke or something? The old man asked the Hokage. Rest assured, Team 7 is a fresh genin team, but they are good and strong enough for this mission. The third replied in a calm tone before returned smoking his pipe. I don't like them. Especially the blonde one. Can he even see? The drunken man asks. Naruto grew a vein and quickly reached for his weapon pouch. Kakashi, realizing what Naruto was going to, jump on him before he fired his shuriken at their client. Now Naruto. No need to kill our client. So calm down. Kakashi replied before turning to the drunken client. It's true that Naruto is blind. But he is a fine shinobi nonetheless. May we know our client's name? Tazuna looked at them. I'm Tazuna, the super bridge builder from the country of Wave. Not to mention a drunk. Naruto muttered. Kakashi applied pressure on Naruto's arm. Naruto thought Kakashi was going to break it. Alright, Team 7, be ready at the west gate in 1 hour. Kakashi orders as he disappears in smoke. Naruto got up and quickly jumped out the window. Sasuke quickly disappeared before Sakura realized he was gone. In the end, Sakura ran home and packed a lot of perfume. Sasuke packed food and weapon supplies into his bag, staring at his old picture of his family on the nightstand. I swear, I will avenge all of you. Naruto was busy wrapping bandages around his arms and legs. Itachi placed ANBU pants with many cuts on them along with a sleeveless light armor shinobi shirt. Around the bandages is the black wrappings that Sasuke used in the Chunin exams. I don't know what they're called, so yeah, just imagine it. Naruto grabbed his backpack. This bag was a gift from the Sandaime. He was told the ANBU had bags like this for long-term missions. He never understood why the Sandaime got him so many things that usual got to ANBU. Itachi placed the scrolls inside before tossing the back on his back and strapping it to his shirt and belt. The bag is very light and small. Naruto's shirt has a seal magnet that attaches to the bag's top while the bottom has hooks to connect to the belt. Remember, the Sandaime Hokage got him a lot of ANBU type gear. An hour later, Team 7 stood at the gate with Kakashi standing next to Tazuna. When an unknown blonde approached them, Kakashi was sure he was lost until he realized it was Naruto. Naruto, where did you get that outfit? This? The Sandaime gave it to me last year. Naruto replied calmly. Why would the Hokage give you clothes? Sakura demanded. Every year the Sandaime gives me clothes or scrolls for my birthday. I don't have money, so he is my only source of income. Naruto replied in a cold tone, clearly stating he didn't want to discuss this matter with his teammates. Sakura, however, clearly wanted to continue and was about to pester the blonde. However, Kakashi stepped forward. Well, that's nice of him. However, let's go. We are heading towards the country of Wave. And if we make good pace, we'll be there by nightfall. Kakashi replied, leading his team forward. Sasuke quickly followed, but also curious about why the Sandaime was giving Naruto stuff. Sakura paused, clearly wanting to know more about Naruto's special treatment when her Sasuke-kun didn't get any. However, seeing her true love walking ahead, she quickly rushed towards his side and started to badger him with questions. Naruto tailed behind, clearly bored. Hey Kakashi-sensei. Are there any other shinobi villages? I mean, why would someone from Wave Country hire Konoha shinobi? Don't they have their own hidden village? Not every country has a hidden village, Sakura. Many neighboring countries that are small and poorer than many others go to their neighboring countries. In record, there are 5 large hidden villages. Each one has their own leader. The Hokage, Kazekage, Mizukage, Reikage, and the Tsuchikage. Each one rules one of the element countries. There are smaller countries with their own hidden villages, but they didn't make a name for themselves as the 5 great shinobi villages. Kakashi replies. Sakura looked a little confused. Oh, I get it. Sakura replied before turning to Sasuke and tried to get him to talk. Kakashi, Naruto, and Tazuna all grew a sweat drop because they knew she didn't get it. A short while later, Naruto nearly stopped at what he saw. There were 2 puddles in the road. However, what amazed him was the fact that there were 2 people hiding in a genjutsu standing where the water was. Naruto walked past them, eyeing them suspiciously. Judging from their forehead protectors, they were mist ninjas. Kakashi also eyed the puddles with little interest but knew to stay on his guard. He continued to read his book and walking behind his team. The demon brothers rose up and attacked Kakashi with their chain. First one. They cried as Kakashi was cut to ribbons. Sakura screamed as Kakashi blood splattered everywhere. Sasuke took a stand, and by the look on his face he showed he didn't care that his sensei was just killed. Naruto got into a defensive stance, but the demon brothers sailed past him. Crying second one. Just as their gauntlets were going to touch Sakura, they felt a jerk and stop. What? They cried, looking behind them. Naruto's staff had their chain pinned to the ground. Sasuke, seeing his chance, jumped onto their gauntlets and kicked both brothers into a tree, causing their weapons to get tangled up around the base of the tree. Sasuke jumped into the air and fired a shuriken to their chain. When it hit, he threw a kunai into the middle of the shuriken, causing the chain to be trapped. Both brothers, furious and angry, detached the chain from their gauntlets. One went after Naruto while the other went after Sasuke. Sasuke threw his kunai, missing the demon brother's left knee. The brother smirks and swung his gauntlet at Sasuke's head, who dodged and rolled past him. Before he could turn and slam his gauntlet into Sasuke's head, he felt a pain in his left knee and fell down, realizing that Sasuke used the kunai he threw as leverage to attack his blind spot on his knee. Fury rose inside him. He was prepared to fire his gauntlet into Sasuke's face when someone much stronger than him knocked him out just by grabbing his neck. To Sakura's relief and surprise, their sensei was holding both ninjas. Realizing the danger had passed, Sakura screamed for her Sasuke-kun's brave and heroic protection. Sasuke-kun, you were incredible. You're the best. Naruto felt he should have let the two mist ninjas kill the girl. If he was growing a soft spot for the girl, he would need to distance himself. Naruto, way to go. I'm impressed you stopped their attack on Sakura. Kakashi-sensei, weren't you watching? It was Sasuke-kun who saved me. Sakura yelled in a loud voice. Tazuna looked at the blonde and was more surprised to see him remain so calm in a situation like that. Naruto, how did you know they were enemy ninjas there? Kakashi asked the blonde. Everyone but Sakura stopped and looked at the blonde for an answer. Simple, I can sense people's chakra. It's how I can see. I use two methods. One is my staff. I send chakra into my staff and release it when it hits the ground. Doing so, I can get an imagine of my surroundings. The other is sensing chakra. I'm very good at sensing chakra. I've never failed to notice anyone before. Kakashi was impressed. He never thought of that. For Naruto too survived solely on chakra. He guessed he had to in order to be a ninja. Okay everyone. Let's go. Tazuna, we need to talk. However, Kakashi did not ask Tazuna anything. Not until they got to a riverbank where a boat was waiting for them. Once they were aboard, Kakashi turned to Tazuna. Okay, now, why did you lie to us about the mission? Tazuna said nothing but started to sweat. Because you lied, that gives us the right to leave you and return to our village. Now, care to explain yourself? Kakashi asked calmly. Very well, it's because of a dangerous man is after my life, Tazuna said in a calm voice. He then started to tell them how the country of Wave was run by a man named Gato, who was an underground kingpin of drugs, thugs and desire for power. He came to Wave and quickly took over, causing Wave to fall into chaos. Tazuna was hoping to build a bridge to connect to the mainland in hopes for trade and cells to raise up again. Something Gato would have no power over with. So you see, I must build this bridge. I understand if you must leave me. However, if you do, my poor grandson will just cry at the death of his beloved grandson, and my daughter might end up cursing Konoha to the heavens. But nonetheless, I perfectly understand, Tazuna replied calmly. Kakashi and his team nervously looked at each other before Kakashi replied, well, guess we have to continue guarding you. Tazuna gave a sigh of relief while shouting victory in his head. Soon Team 7 landed and started to walk into the forest. Unknown to them, a shadow was watching them, with a sword as tall as he. Naruto felt a vein mark grow bigger and bigger just hearing Sakura pester Sasuke. Sasuke also looked annoyed. Tazuna looked at her as if wondering if she had an off button. Kakashi was reading his book, but he too was getting annoyed. Before anyone could react, Naruto kunai nearly passes Sakura's head and hit a tree trunk. Naruto! Sakura screeched, jumping into the air to deliver a fatal blow towards Naruto's head into the ground. Unfortunately, Naruto walked past her, causing Sakura to fall face first into the ground. Naruto walked past the bush to notice something like a small animal, but too big for a mouse. Looking closely, he noticed it was a rabbit, but there was chakra of someone here. Naruto looked behind in the trees. Whoever was standing here moments earlier was incredibly powerful, and no amateur. Kakashi walked up to Naruto and realized that the rabbit was kept solely for the use of Kawarimi no Jutsu. The masked man looked at the blonde boy with interest. He was shocked to see the blonde found him so fast before the Jounin, who he recognized as Hatake Kakashi, also known as Sharingan no Kakashi. Kakashi went back to his team, looking very serious. Someone was in the area. Either was watching or ready to make their move. Kakashi didn't even seem to hear Sakura screaming at Naruto, demanding he apologize for making her look so bad in front of Sasuke-kun. Before Kakashi could make a decision, he senses something moving at them at high speed. Get down! Kakashi yelled as he grabbed Sakura and Tazuna and forced them down. Sasuke and Naruto hit the dirt. A giant sword appeared just above their heads. When it passed, it pierced into the tree above them where a sleeveless man stood. Kakashi looked at him and noticed at once that he was going to be a tough opponent. My, you're the Kiri's nuke nin Mamachi Zabuza. Kakashi replied casually as if the two ninjas were talking over drinks. Oh, you must be copycat ninja, Hatake Kakashi. Zabuza replied before turning to look over at the genins. He gave a snort. So you're in charge of a bunch of trash. I should have known you weren't going to live by your reputation and follow the Sandaime Hokage. Hey Gaki, what's your name? Zabuza asked Naruto. However, Sasuke stepped forward to give the answer. I'm. Not you trash. I meant the blonde one. Zabuza growled. Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto stated calmly. Zabuza's face paled when he heard the word Uzumaki. Kakashi seemed to have noticed Zabuza had instant fear inside of him. Uzumaki, did you say? That's impossible. They're all wipe out. Now Kakashi, Sasuke and Sakura were starting to get curious. Was Uzumaki a clan with a certain bloodline capability? However, Tazuna was no looking like he was in front of almighty Kami-sama. Is he an Uzumaki? I thought they were wipe out nearly 20 years ago. Even though I never fought one, their legacy is even greater than the 7 swordsmen of the mist. Wait, could he be sensei's? Gaki, is your mother Uzumaki Kushina? When Kakashi heard the name, his eyes immediately opened wide. He looks at Naruto, but saw no resemblance to Kushina. I do not know. My parents died when I was born 13 years ago. What's so great about Uzumakis anyway? They're weak and pathetic. Sasuke-kun is super cool and full of talent. Sakura shouted with a look at Sasuke to agree with her. Actually, Uzumakis are fully praised here in Wave, Mist, Ocean, Sea, Storm and Whirlpool, which is where they originally descended from. The very first swordsman of the Mist was an Uzumaki with nearly 20 different styles of kenjutsu. Masters at chakra control and have an IQ over 200. They are first-rate shinobis who serve as the guardians of the sea. It's also said each Uzumaki creates a jutsu that only he or she can use. The people view Uzumakis higher than the daimyo and the leaders of the village leaders with more respect. However, Tazuna replied but couldn't continue any further. The old man is right. However, about 20 years ago, the Sandaime Mizuki felt the Uzumakis were too powerful. He then ordered his entire army to kill every Uzumaki. The fighting between the Uzumakis and Mizuki lasted for nearly a year. Before every Uzumaki was dead, there was only one known survivor. She was my sensei and mentor, Uzumaki Koharu, who fled to Konoha when the fighting nearly begun. However, I heard she died 12 years ago, during the attack by the Ninetales at Konoha's gate. However, the reason why Uzumakis were feared, Zabuza paused for a moment. Just remembering gave him the chills. Was their power levels could even extend further than the Kages themselves? Zabuza replied in a cold tone. Naruto was shocked, so was his team. Tazuna, however, looked at Naruto in a new light. So you're the greatest threat here. Normally I would take you out first, however, it seems like your jounin will only get in my way. Let's begin this, Hatake Kakashi. Zabuza cried, quickly disappearing from the tree. Kakashi lifted up his forehead protector. Sasuke and Sakura started at it. Naruto, however, looked at it and studied the strange eye. What is that eye? I knew his right eye had something powerful because it was always covered in chakra. It seems like it can copy jutsus? Yes, I see it all too clearly now. The way the eye's chakra is moving, it's designed to copy and gather information. Interesting, perhaps, well, wouldn't hurt to try. Naruto thought as he began to mimic Kakashi's Sharingan with his chakra. Kirigakyu no jutsu, Zabuza replied on top of the water. Kakashi turns to look at him, and then lock onto him with his Sharingan. I'm honored to fight the Sharingan so early, Hatake Kakashi. Zabuza's voice boomed everywhere around them. Now then, there are 8 killing spots, where to target, where to target. Zabuza mocks. Sakura and Sasuke started to shake in fear. Naruto, however, did not even flinch under the amount of killer intent being released. Everyone, form the swastika formation. Protect Tazuna-san. Whatever happens, don't join the battle. To not interfere is the battle teamwork. Don't lower your guard no matter what. Sensei, what is he? Momochi Zabuza, he was in the Kirigakure ANBU, and was known for his silent killing techniques. Kakashi explains. Silent? Sakura asked. Her knees were shaking very badly. Just as the name implies, it's a killing technique that's executed into a flash and carried out in absolute silence. It's possible you'll be dead before you realize it. Also, I cannot use my Sharingan to its fullest potential. Like I said, don't let your guard down. But if you fail, you're only going to die. Kakashi replies calmly as if it wasn't a big deal. You're taking this so easy, sensei. Sakura screeches at Kakashi. Her voice was loud and most likely carried for miles. Shut up, tramp. Naruto growled. You shut up, Naruto no baka. Sakura screamed. You really should be listening to your teammate. Zabuza's voice replied, as if he was everywhere around them. A shinobi must be quiet and silent at all times. Just by yelling, I can kill you, like this. Zabuza replied. From behind Sakura 3 kunais headed toward her head. Kakashi quickly reacted and countered it with 3 of his own. Sakura, who just realized she could have been killed, had her eyes open in shock. She was so glad, but too shocked to say anything. Before she could do anything, Zabuza's killer intent started to rise, making the air around the poor genins hard to breathe. Sasuke was having a hard time. He felt he needed to end the pain. He was prepared to end the pain by killing himself when Kakashi spoke. Sasuke, don't worry. I won't let any of you die. He replies with a smile. 8 choices: liver, lungs, spine, clavicle, neck, brain, kidneys, heart. Which one should I strike? Zabuza's voice appeared behind the genins. Sasuke, Sakura and Tazuna were the only ones too scared to move. Naruto, however, unsheathed his sword and struck Zabuza in the face. Zabuza blocked with his own sword, looking at Naruto with such high praise. I should have expected that, Uzumaki-san. Zabuza commented. He looked at Naruto with respect and seemed to be enjoying the situation he was in. Naruto seemed to raise his head as if he realizes something. A clone. Before Zabuza or Naruto could move, Kakashi jumped forward and stabbed Zabuza with his kunai. Water poured out before disintegrating around Kakashi. Sensei, behind you! Sakura screamed. Kakashi turned around only to see Zabuza's Kubikiri Hocho slice him in half. To Zabuza's surprise, Kakashi also disintegrated into water. Zabuza's shock and surprise to see Kakashi was able to copy his Mizubunshin in the mist. Zabuza stood up only to feel a kunai to his throat. Don't move, Zabuza. It's over. Kakashi replies, holding his kunai dangerously close to Zabuza's neck. Zabuza said nothing, then began to chuckle. It's over? You don't get it. There's no way you can defeat me with your monkey-like imitations. But I have to admit, at that time, you had already copied my Mizubunshin no Jutsu. I won't let any of you die. You had your clones say those words to attract my attention, while the real you hid in the mist and watched me. Nice plan. But Zabuza ended his sentence. Kakashi was getting nervous. Did he have something as an ace in the hole? I'm not that easy to beat. Zabuza's voice spoke behind Kakashi, whose eyes opened wide in shock as the clone disappeared. That's a fake too? Sakura screamed in fear. She was going to die. She didn't even get to kiss her true love first, and she was going to die. Zabuza swung his sword hard and fast. Kakashi just barely managed to duck in time. Zabuza brought his sword down into the ground and switched hands to give more speed and strength as he delivers a powerful kick to Kakashi in the face. Kakashi flew through the air and landed on the water, where he used his chakra to land on top of it. Kakashi looks up to see Zabuza standing on the water edge forming seals. Suetun, Mizu Kusari no Jutsu! Zabuza shouted in a loud voice, slamming his hand on the water. Something grabbed Kakashi's ankles. Before he realized it, his hands were also bound by the water Zabuza set up. Too bad, Kakashi. Escaping to the water was a bad idea. This is a special prison we use for capturing missing ninjas. It's an A-rank jutsu. The water serves as chains and bondages and cuts off all possible use of chakra. But lucky for you, I cannot move from this position. However, doesn't mean I still can't take care of your brats. Mizubunshin no Jutsu. A water clone appeared alongside Zabuza and stepped forward towards the frightened genins. As I expected, Gaki's playing ninja? Zabuza's clone replied in a cold tone. What are you talking about? Of course we're ninjas. How else do you expect we got these forehead protectors from our village? Sakura demanded. Naruto wanted to bang his head on something. Why was Sakura being so stupid? Ah yes, Konoha has some of the finest warriors known around the globe. But they have the weakest and most pathetic hearts. That village is too emotional, it carries weak shinobis. Shinobis that can't kill. Shinobis who never felt fear or bloodlust. That's why, you're nothing but little kids who like to play ninja. Zabuza replies. Sakura and Sasuke shook in fear. Unable to believe that a Jounin was standing above them mocking them, Zabuza raised his right hand and looks at it. When I was your age, these hands were already stained with the art of blood. I've killed more than any of you could ever dream of, Zabuza replied. Bloody mist, Kakashi replies. Oh, so even you have heard about that. Bloody mist? What's the bloody mist? Sakura asked. For generations, the hidden village of the mist was once known as the Bloody Mist for nearly 50 years. Due to a certain examination in order to become genin. So you even know about that, Zabuza commented. What was the examination? This final test? Students fighting to the death. This answer sent the two genins in fear like no other. Students, who knew each other, trained together, became friends together. Were put together in a fight where one would walk, the other would die. 10 years ago, the hidden village of the mist was forced to change this, due to the fact an evil appeared in the village. Oh, so you've heard of me. What did this evil do? Sakura asked, uncertain she wanted to know the answer. Without hesitation or fear, he killed the entire class graduation that year. The demon Zabuza. Zabuza said nothing. Then his clone spoke towards the genins. I missed that day. It was so fun. It replied while Sakura and Sasuke suddenly became petrified with fear. Zabuza kicked Sasuke down and started to push into his chest, causing him to feel like his chest was going to be crushed just by the clone's foot. Sasuke Kyuin! Sakura screamed. Seeing her true love being defeated so easily, scared her to hell. Naruto rushed forward and formed a cross seal. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Naruto replied calmly. Zabuza's clone looked up to see Naruto's rushing towards him. Oh, the shadow clone technique. Quiet a number of them. What? Zabuza cried, not even sensing the two Naruto clones from behind him as they cut the water clone to apart. Naruto dispelled the shadow clone technique. Using the smoke as a smoke screen, he threw a Fuma Shuriken at Zabuza. Zabuza shocked to see a Fuma Shuriken come out of the smoke from the Kage Bunshin headed straight towards him. Not bad. Attacking me when I'm not prepared for it, however Zabuza caught it with his right hand. It's too easy for me, Zabuza declared. It was then he notices another Fuma Shuriken. Kage Shuriken no Jutsu? Zabuza dropped to the water surface and lay there as the Fuma Shuriken passed by him. Not bad at all. However, you didn't think that through well enough. That attack was far too easy for me to handle, Zabuza commented to Naruto. Naruto said nothing but disappeared in a puff of smoke. Zabuza looked shocked and looked behind him to see the Fuma Shuriken turn into Naruto. The Fuma Shuriken? You mean he used the Henj no Jutsu to get behind me? I should take him as my apprentice. He is even better than Haku. Zabuza stood up and smiled. I should have expected that. From the last Uzumaki. They always come up with a genius plan, no matter how bad the situation gets. Kakashi freed from his prison glanced at Naruto. He wanted to send his team off, but Naruto overcame the situation and attacked Zabuza in his blind spot multiple times. He was deeply impressive and wanted to thank the blonde. However, he had his own problems to worry about. Zabuza seemed to be thinking the same thing and turned to face Kakashi. Well, I must admit that student of yours is quite impressive. No doubt he is a true prodigy among prodigies. Well, let's finish this. Zabuza rushed forward but stopped when Kakashi sent him a powerful glare with his Sharingan. Soon Kakashi started mimicking his every move. Damn, that freaking eye is pissing me off. Nani? Did he read his mind? Both Zabuza and Kakashi started to form seals. All you're doing is just copying me. You're not going to defeat me with your monkey-like abilities. Zabuza's eyes started to grow in frustration. He was about to finish the seal when he stopped. He saw himself beside Kakashi. Genjutsu? No, not possible. So is that me? Kakashi formed the last two seals and shouted. Suetun, Daibakafu no Jutsu. Na nani? Zabuza cried as the jutsu hit him. I was the one trying to cast this jutsu, but I couldn't keep up with his speed. What insane power! Naruto jumped to the high tree to avoid the technique's powerful gusting wind. Sasuke, Sakura and Tazuna were not as fortunate as they all nearly got blown away from Kakashi's jutsu. Zabuza landed on the tree base. Before he could recover, kunais pierced his body. Zabuza looked at Kakashi, who landed on tree branch with a kunai in his hand. Can it see the future? Yeah, you're going to die. Kakashi replies calmly. 2 Senbon needles pierce Zabuza in the neck, apparently killing him. You're right. He did die. A hunter nin replied. Kakashi ignored the hunter nin and jumps down to check. No pulse, Zabuza was dead. I thank you for your assistance. I've been seeking a chance to kill Zabuza myself. I must go. The hunter nin replied calmly. He shunned Shing down and disappeared with Zabuza. Well, that's a good thing for us. Let's go, Kakashi replies before collapsing. Kakashi-sensei! Sakura screamed. Kids, your sensei is awake. A woman shouted as Kakashi opens his eye. The genins open the door and walk in. All except Naruto, who was nowhere to be seen. Soon following them was Tazuna. Where is Naruto? He left as soon as we came here. Says he's going to go training and won't be back until a week has passed. Oh really? Well, there's something I must discuss with all of you, Kakashi replies. Location unknown. Naruto stops walking, studying his surroundings. He knew a building was being held by cables in front of him. He also sensed Zabuza's and that hunter nin's chakra inside the building. He calmly walks in. Surprisingly, there are no guards. Gato was truly a stupid idiot and full of ignorance and selfish needs. Naruto walks in toward Zabuza's chakra signature. When he got near enough, he heard someone yelling at Zabuza, whom Naruto assumed was Gato. Not only did the demon brothers failed, but so did you. You call yourself the demon of the mist? How can you be a demon if you were defeated so easily? Now the old bridge builder will have the time he needs to finish that bridge of his. If you can't ow my arm. Gato cries as the hunter nin starts to crush his arm. Gato's 2 guards drew their swords only to see another shinobi appear next to them holding their swords to their throats. I think it would be best to leave. Naruto replies calmly but in a deadly tone. The guards started to sweat, unable to believe someone moved so fast in a second. Gato ran as soon the hunter nin released his arm. The guards ran out. Gato soon followed. Naruto raised his eyebrow when the hunter nin took a defensive stance. Haku, it's alright. You don't have to do anything. Zabuza-san. Zabuza turned his head towards Naruto. How did you find me, brat? Simple, I followed your chakra signature. Chakra signature? Everyone has a chakra signature. No chakra signature is the same. During your fight I was studying you and saw your chakra signature. When you died your chakra signature did not die. So I knew you were alive. Shortly after my team arrived at our client's house I left to track you. Do they know I'm alive? I figure Kakashi-sensei would tell everyone after he put 2 and 2 together. True, it won't take long for Kakashi to find out. However, I wish to learn more about your clan? Not surprising, they're gaki. Well, it really wasn't a clan. Only there were about 5 people. Your mother was very young. Her father insisted that she flee at once, in case the family did die out. She was the youngest in the family. Only a Chunin but highly skilled like many Jounins. When I was 4, she became my sensei and tutor. I look up to her. She was so brave and so fearless. She was more of a tomboy if you asked about her. Red hair with beauty unlike no other woman in the world. She was a fearless shinobi. When she fled, she told me not to get so full of myself. I wish I could hear her voice just one more time. Zabuza-san? Haku asked, unsure what to say. Zabuza sat up, with great difficulty. The Uzumakis wield no Kekkei Genkais or special abilities. Just these 2 things, high-level chakra and a high-level IQ, Zabuza replied before he chuckles. I guess I can finally repay my debt to your mother. It only makes sense, she was the only survivor from the Uzumaki massacre. Very well, I shall train you the same way she trained me. Naruto said nothing and showed no emotions. He finally got more than he intended to. Water's Edge. Okay kid, the first thing I'm going to have you work on is your taijutsu. I will also be teaching kenjutsu. Depending on how well you can do, I will teach you ninjutsu and some genjutsu. Naruto said nothing but got into a defensive stance. Haku did the same and both leaped forward, getting into a first punch to both of them. Both caught each other's first. Naruto studied his opponent and realized he was going to have so much fun. Week later. Naruto sealed everything he had into his scrolls and attached them onto his belt. Zabuza stood there, fully healed, and stood ready to engage in battle with Kakashi once again. Naruto, come here. Zabuza replied as he pulls out 3 large scrolls. These scrolls have everything I know inside them. One is ninjutsu. Mostly water jutsus, a few wind, earth, and lighting. Never really bothered in learning fire jutsus. The second scroll is Kenjutsu forms and styles. The third is Genjutsu and Taijutsu. If you really want to become the world's greatest ninja, you must learn as much as you can. Strive to become Hokage unlike no other. I take it you'll be joining your team on the bridge. Of course. I don't like them, but I will always fight for the Leaf Village. I will carry on the will of fire. Zabuza grew curious about this will of fire for over a week. Naruto spoke of it with passion and respect. Clearly it wasn't the Hokage. However, he never asked what it was. Very well, this is the last time we part as teacher and student. The next time we meet, we'll become enemies. Remember what I said. And remember to be careful. And here. Zabuza replied as Naruto strapped the scrolls to his left leg. Note, the scrolls are half the size of Kankuro's scroll for his puppets. Zabuza pulled out another scroll, this one much smaller and shorter than the last three. This sword belongs to your mother. Before she left, she gave it to me, in hopes I would wield it with honor when the mist was standing in pride once again. However, my attempt to free mist ended in failure. Hopefully your will of fire can give you the strength to wield this blade. Thank you, but I would much rather no see either of you die. Or anyone else. But this is the road to becoming a shinobi. I will see you two there. Naruto replied. He disappeared before either Haku or Zabuza could say anything. That kid will become powerful. Perhaps he'll become the strongest in the world. He has such strange powers. Zabuza replies. It's almost like being around him, and you feel everything will be alright. Haku agreed, nodding. In truth, I would much rather not have to fight him. However, my debt is repaid, therefore, we can finish this mission and kill that greedy little pig. Zabuza replies calmly and he walks towards the bridge. Haku soon followed. Naruto stopped short, glared at the two samurai dragging Tsunami. She told Naruto her name before he left. Inari was on the floor crying. Naruto doesn't know his name is Inari. Naruto jumped down and threw a shuriken at the samurai's head. The samurai's partner wheeled around before a kunai killed him in the throat. Naruto jumped down. Naruto-sama. When did you? Tsunami asked in shock. I came by to drop off my stuff and meet my team. Naruto replied calmly. I'm afraid your team not too long ago and went to the bridge with father. Guess I should go there then. Inari must have gathered his wits now that the danger has passed. Why do you even try? You're just going to get killed by Gato. He shouted towards Naruto. Naruto unsheathed his sword from his staff and pointed it at Inari. Who the hell are you to talk to me like that? Naruto growled. It doesn't matter, you're just going to die if you go against Gato. Inari screamed. Naruto disappeared before Inari's eyes. He heard Naruto landed behind him. Before Inari could say anything, he felt a deep wound on his shoulder. If you think that coward, then just die. Naruto replied calmly. Wait, Naruto-sama. That's my son. Please forgive his actions. Tsunami shouted. Remember, Inari. If you run, you will die. If you fight, you will die. However, how you die depends on how you live. If you fight, then protect those around you. Die to protect them. If you run, then you're no better than Gato, a goddamn coward who will watch his loved ones die. Naruto replied before he disappeared. Inari fell down crying. His mother walks over and confronts him. Although angry, agreed with Naruto. According to Kakashi, Naruto follows a strict code and strongly dislikes people who are not reasonable with that code. Naruto jumped from tree to tree and rushed towards the bridge. He knew Zabuza would engage his team soon, mostly likely right now. He didn't care if Sakura died, then again, Zabuza wouldn't care if she lived or died, seeing how she was too weak and pathetic to even be a shinobi. Naruto landed near the bridge to see what was going on. Zabuza clearly was using Kirigakure no Jutsus, causing Kakashi and everyone else unable to see what was going on. Sakura stood in front of Tazuna, holding a kunai, but her knees were shaking horribly. Clearly she was scared to death. Naruto wouldn't be surprised if she pisses herself soon. Sasuke was fighting Haku, who was using a jutsu Naruto never seen or heard before. Haku never used this jutsu during their sparring sessions. Kakashi was looking around, trying to find Zabuza with his Sharingan. Zabuza created a water clone and had it attack Kakashi with shurikens. Naruto knew Kakashi was able to deflect them, so he was unsurprised when Kakashi did deflect them. Naruto, however, lost interest in the battle between Kakashi and Zabuza. He started to watch Sasuke's battle. The stubborn Uchiha was doing fairly well, using his chakra to increase his speed. However, Naruto knew Sasuke was going to reach his limit soon. Man, I can't believe I'm going to save that Uchiha's neck. Naruto muttered, jumping forward. Naruto hit Sasuke in the neck before he knew what hit him. Naruto-kun, I expected you to appear sooner, Haku replied in a calm voice. I went back to Tazuna's house, and ran into Gado's wannabe thugs. I took care of them, Naruto replied in a calm tone. I see, well, Zabuza's debt has been repaid, however, I won't hold back on you, Haku replied, pulling out Saban needles. Naruto raised his forehead protector to reveal his eyes. Haku knew he was blind, however, what he didn't expect was to see pure white eyes. No pupils or iris could be seen, almost as if they were ripe out. Like Raiden's eyes from Mortal Kombat. Let's go, Haku, Naruto shouted, jumping forward. Haku smiled. Apparently Naruto was underestimating his bloodline. He moved forward faster than Naruto. He punches Naruto in the jaw and jumped back in the mirror. Haku, however, was a surprise when Naruto disappeared in a puff of smoke. Kage Bunshin, I'll tell you a secret. Kage Bunshin has a secret ability. Anything the Kage Bunshin learns is given to the user after it dispels. Now I see your secret, I'll be ready for you, Naruto replies, standing in the middle of the ice mirrors. Haku was surprised. He didn't know that. In this case, Naruto had the advantage, because he knew Naruto could make up to 1,000 shadow clones without breaking a sweat. Tajukage Bunshin no Jutsu, Naruto cried, as hundreds of Narutos appeared. Haku leaped out his mirror, realizing with this much power, Naruto would destroy his mirrors. He jumps halfway across the area to the other side, destroying as many as he could. Haku leaped out of his mirror again. This time, he destroyed more. However, Naruto seemed to be fully aware of what was going on. Haku got confused so much he again approaches another clone, only for it to explode in front of him. Haku was thrown against his mirror and crashed into it, shattering it to pieces. Kakashi and Zabuza both turned their attention towards the explosion. Both grew curious who caused it. Zabuza knew it wasn't Haku, so he assumed it was the Uchiha brat. However, the Uchiha didn't know anything to cause a loud explosion to echo around the bridge. Kakashi was also in shock. He knew Sasuke and Sakura didn't know anything to create a loud explosion like this. He didn't know anything about Naruto. He was a big mystery. Or could another ninja appeared and taken over? Haku got up only to see Naruto's fist meet his face. How? Haku asked, struggling to get up. I've never shown anyone my true capabilities. True, I did lose my ability to see the world. However, I created another method. I pretty much see you and everything else in gray. Also, I can see chakra. I knew how your jutsu worked for a long time. Besides, if my first plan didn't work, I still had 3 more in case my first one failed. My eyes can see chakra. Nothing can escape their sight. I timed everything so I can help Kakashi defeat Zabuza. Of course, I'm not yet ready to tell my team my abilities, Naruto replied in a calm voice, lowering his forehead protector. Naruto looked at Kakashi's and Zabuza's direction. Zabuza was captured by dogs and Kakashi had a strange lighting jutsu in his hands. Before Naruto could react, Haku shunned Shinaway appearing before Zabuza, taking the blow to his heart. Naruto looked on as he saw Zabuza try to cut through both Haku and Kakashi at once. Kakashi pulled Haku away to safety. Naruto threw several shurikens and they hit Zabuza's shoulder blades, preventing him from using his arms. Naruto quickly appeared in front of Kakashi holding his sword. Yes, Naruto unsheathed his sword. Not bad, kid, you've improved better than I thought. Your mother would be proud, Zabuza replied as he kneeled down from the amount of pain. The battle clearly was showing the toll it was taking on Zabuza. I never really get to fight anyone at my fullest. Perhaps I can make my family's name legendary again across the world, Naruto replied calmly. Zabuza chuckled. Kid, you can make a name even greater than any other Uzumaki. Remember, a shinobi is a killing tool. Nothing more, nothing less, Zabuza replied. Naruto said nothing. He knew that was true. So Naruto remained silent. Before anyone could say anything, they all heard clapping. Turning towards the source, they all saw Gado standing there with a small army of thugs. This is the result of the demon of the mist. More like the baby of the mist, Gado shouted as the thugs roared with laughter. Gado walked forward towards Haku. Oh yes, I forgot, I owe this one for crushing my arm until it broke, Gado replied as he kicks Haku several times in the face. Aren't you going to do anything? Naruto asked Zabuza. No, you see, this is the life of a shinobi. I use Haku just like Gado used me. I feel nothing for him. Aren't you a bit curious about this will of fire we ninjas of Konoha speak of? Naruto asked Zabuza. Zabuza looked at his prize student. The Sandaime Hokage as well as all 4 Hokages wanted to change the ideas of shinobis. This will of fire is not fighting as weapons. We fight to protect and defend our dreams and ideals. Our families and friends. We share a bond that we seek to protect. Not as tools, but as human beings. It was a dream to create a golden age for shinobis. Naruto replied. Naruto, don't go telling Zabuza these things. He wouldn't understand, Kakashi replied. However, Zabuza interrupted him, tears pouring down his eyes. I think I finally understand. It was also my dream to cut down such ties of the old ways. My dream was to create the hidden mist village so we can rely on each other. I just never realized it until now. Kid, you may be right. We may be tools as shinobis. But we are also human beings capable of emotions. Thank you, Zabuza replied. He tried to move his arms but they refused to move. Kid, let me get a kunai. Naruto said nothing but tossed the kunai in the air. Zabuza tore his face mask with his mouth and caught it with his teeth. He charged forward. Gato, seeing the danger by angering the demon of the mist, ran behind the thugs, ordering them to kill Zabuza. However, Zabuza easily evaded and cut through the thugs as if they were standing still. Gato panicked so hard he froze as Zabuza's kunai pierced through his neck. Zabuza kicked Gato in the throat, sending off the bridge edge. Zabuza struggled to walk back towards Haku. To die by his friend and brother side. The two of them have been through so much. Haku deserves so much more. However, no matter how hard things seemed to have gotten, Haku always stood by his side. However, he collapsed before he could reach Haku. Naruto and Kakashi lowered their heads in respect. Zabuza died like a true leaf ninja, even if he was never a leaf ninja in the first place. Hey you dumb fucks. You just killed our meal ticket. Now we are going to raid this island and take all the spoils we want. A thug yelled, clearly acting like the leader. Yeah. All the thugs behind him yelled. Before anyone could respond, an arrow was shot and landed in front of the thugs. If any of you even take one step towards our island, the people of Wave will kill every single thug that enters our land. A old man shouted. Inari was standing there with a crossbow. How about I kill them myself? Naruto replies, rushing forward, creating several Kage Bunshins. The thugs barely could follow Naruto's movements. A minute later, Naruto pierced through the last thug's throat, killing him instantly. So young, yet he can kill without a care in the world. Hokage-sama, what is he? The Bunshins all dispel and Naruto walked past Sakura, who flung herself on top of her Sasuke-kun the moment the fight between Zabuza and Kakashi had stopped. One day later, Hill of Wave. Naruto and the rest of Team 7 stood on the hill where Zabuza and Haku's grave stood. Kakashi-sensei, can the life of a shinobi ever change? Naruto asks. You regret your kills? Kakashi responds back. Sakura and Sasuke took a step back when they heard Naruto had killed several people. No, they deserve death. No matter what. Thugs like that who raid on the weak don't deserve to live. That's my belief. However, is killing the only life for a shinobi? In our world right now, yes. We kill to survive. It's part of being a shinobi. I wish killing could be taken out of our lives. We could live for something else. Naruto replies as the rain started to fall. Konoha. The Sandaime Hokage looked at the document in front of him before looking at the 3 jounins in front of him. The Chunin exams have begun. He replies in a deep voice. The 3 jounins disappeared at once. Team 7 stood on their usual bridge. The only person not there was Kakashi, whom Team 7 started to wait impertinently for. Since the mission to Wave, mutual agreement was agreed between the 3 genins. Sakura and Sasuke would stop belittling and rude to Naruto. Naruto would stop giving them injuries and insults. While this did solve their problem, things became much quieter between the trio. That, however, didn't stop Sakura from pestering Sasuke for the rest of his life. Naruto looked like he wanted to be somewhere else. Kakashi was so goddamn late. He started to leak his killer intent as a sign of frustration. Sakura stopped talking when she felt Naruto's killer intent rising. Sasuke also looked worried. Both genins started to back away from Naruto, knowing he would need to release his anger. He might start killing. Sakura and Sasuke were about to break into a run to get away from the piss-off blonde when a puff smoke appeared announcing the arrival of Kakashi. Sorry I'm late, but I saw a fish drowning in a pond so I rushed forward too. Liar! Sakura screamed. Kakashi only replied, giving his left eye into a smile. Naruto, however, didn't seem to have lightened his mood. Why are you so late? Naruto asked in a cold but demanding voice. Well, the truth is I was busy nominating you three for the Chunin exams, Kakashi replied. Chunin exams? Sakura asked. Naruto didn't let his killer intent lower. In fact, it started to rise at a dangerous level. Pure heat waves could be seen around Naruto. Now let me explain, Kakashi began in a hasty voice. Clearly something pissed Naruto off this morning. Flashback. Good, all those who will take some part of this event are finally here. Now let's begin the entrance of the Chunin exam, the Sandaime declared in a deep voice. Everyone started to mutter. Excitement filled the room. The Sandaime smiled. Perhaps this year would be very interesting. Enough, first off, let's begin with the rookie Jounin instructors. I, Hatake Kakashi, squad leader of Team 7, nominate Uchiha Sasuke, Haruno Sakura, and Uzumaki Naruto for the upcoming Chunin exams. I, Yuhi Kurenai, squad leader of Team 8, nominate Hyuga Hinata, Inuzuka Kiba, and Abraham Shino for the upcoming Chunin exams. And I, Saburito Asuma, squad leader of Team 10, nominate Nara Shikamaru, Akimichi Choji, and Yamanaka Ino for the upcoming Chunin exams. Chaos soon started to spread across the room. All 9 rookies competing for the Chunin exams? It hasn't happened in 5 years. The Chunin exams were known for being rough and dangerous. Wait just a minute. Hokage-sama, you can't let these genins take place in the Chunin exams. Irika cried. What do you mean, Irika? The Sandaime asked politely, even though everyone knew it was a demanded. Hokage-sama, all 9 of those students were once my students at the academy. I agree each and every one of them is full of potential, however, this exam will destroy them. They are not ready. It is too soon. Irika replied calmly. Many agreed with Irika. Clearly fresh genins out of the academy were not ready to participate in the Chunin exams. Irika, you have to let go. Kakashi replies in a bored tone. Kurenai and Asuma didn't look pleased. Are you planning on destroying them? Irika shouted. Well, they complain a lot about lousing missions. Perhaps this will scare them strong enough to stop their bickering and bring their potential up to surface. Yet you're willing to put their lives on the line because of that? I was made Chunin at the age of 6. It got me real good. Kakashi replies. Naruto is not like you. Are you trying to destroy them both physically and mentally? Irika shouted, stepping forward to meet Kakashi in the face. Kakashi, that's enough. Kurenai replies, glancing at Kakashi. No, Kurenai-san, Irika needs to hear this. He just doesn't get it. While I do appreciate you holding on to your old bonds for your former students, remember, Irika, they are no longer your students. They are my soldiers. Kakashi replies in an even tone. Irika was about to reply back until the Sandaime beat him to it. Irika, it's the Jounin instructor decision if their genin team is ready. Hokage-sama! Irika shouted in protest. However, I also see that Irika has a point. Despite potential, this exam could kill them and they will never be the same again. Therefore I will allow a pre-Chunin exam test. Hokage-sama, Irika shouted. He stops when the Sandaime gives him a glare. Kakashi turned around, however someone called him out. I don't know what you are planning, eternal rival. I however waited a full year just to give my squad the necessary experience. I have to agree with Irika. They are not ready. What's the matter, Guy? Are you afraid that my team is better than yours? Kakashi taunts. Guy looked shocked, then shouted that he accepted his youthful challenge. Kakashi, however, started to get worried. He felt his team was ready. He, however, thought they might not come out the same again. Flashback ends. Here are your papers. Friday, be at room 302 examination hall. Don't be surprised if you see ninjas from other villages here. Kakashi waves and disappears. Naruto walks off, clearly not interested in his teammate's option about the Chunin exam. Sakura pushed her thoughts aside about Naruto and turned to Sasuke only to see he vanishes. Now what am I going to do? Sakura screamed. She paused, and then got an idea. Her favorite hobby was still an option, Sasuke hunting. Sakura got up and ran off to find her true lover. She searched the allies' ways mostly because Sasuke rarely took the main streets. In one area she bumps into a brown-haired Gaki. Watch where you're going, Gaki. Sakura growled. Shut up, you no-breast bitch. The little boy yelled back. Sakura's eyes twitched, dangerous at her nickname. Konohamaru, we should leave. She's scary. A four-eyed boy around Konohamaru's age replied. A girl around their age also looked scared. Right, new ninja tactic. Run! Konohamaru shouted. The 3 academy students ran for their lives as Sakura came rushing after them, destroying and trashing everything that got in her path. Konohamaru ran ahead clearly frightened and didn't want to feel the wrath of the pink-haired genin. However, he bumps into someone wearing a black jumpsuit. Oh, Gaki, you bump into me. Does that mean you want to fight? The boy replies. He picks up Konohamaru and stares him dead in the eye. Oh, Kankuro, put him down. You're going to get us into trouble. A blonde-haired girl replied with 4 pigtails. Temari, I'm just going to teach this brat some respect, that's all. I can do it before he gets here. Do something? Konohamaru is going to be the 2 children turned to Sakura. Alright. Put him down right now. Sakura orders. Kankuro glares at Sakura and she backs away, putting the 2 children in front of her as shields. Kankuro raised his fist only for a rock to hit him in the head. Kankuro glares at the boy before putting the boy down. He unwrapped his bandages around his shoulders and was prepared to use an unknown weapon on Sasuke. Sakura felt a little terrified but excited that her Sasuke-kun was going to kick his ass and show how great he was. Kankuro, enough. A voice replied near Sasuke. Sasuke's eyes opened and turned to the source. There stood another genin with Suna forehead protector and a guard on his back. Gaara, they were the ones who started it. Shut up or I'll kill you. Gaara snapped in a motionless tone. Right, sorry Gaara. Kankuro replies, backing away, waving his hands in the air. Sakura and Sakura back away from the red-haired genin. They were strongly reminded of Naruto. They knew he wasn't joking. He clearly had problems with his own teammates. Let's go. Gaara orders as he shins down towards his teammates. Wait, Sakura replies, gathering her wits. She didn't like his eyes. They had bloodlust and desire to kill. Judging from your forehead protectors, you must be ninjas from Suna. Even though Suna and Konoha are allies, you need to have a pass to be here. Sakura demanded. You really don't have a brain, do you, Harino? They are here for the Chunin exams. A voice replies on the other side. The 8 ninjas, Suna, Sasuke, Sakura and the Konohamaru Corps, look up at a branch to see Naruto standing there. Naruto suddenly disappeared and appeared in front of his team. Your name? Naruto asked calmly to Gaara. Sabuka no Gaara. Uzumaki Naruto. We shall see you in the Chunin exams. Naruto replies, leading his team away. Sakura and Sasuke followed. Unsure who was scarier, Gaara or Naruto. Gaara said nothing but led his team away in the other directions. Friday, room 302. Naruto and his team enter the room for the Chunin exams. They walk forward and lean on the wall, clearly not wanting to be disturbed. Sasuke, for his part, feared his fan club would be here. Naruto didn't want anyone talking to him. Sakura wanted her Sasuke-kun to take her on a date. Sasuke-kun, I've missed you so much. A voice yelled out loud. Yamanaka Ino made her unwelcome entrance by jumping on Sasuke in a cheerful way. As if she was Sasuke's girlfriend. Get off Sasuke-kun, Ino pig! Sakura screamed. Naruto wondered if she ever learned to be quiet. Then again, he would be surprised if she learned to use her brain. Keep it down. Shikamaru replies, walking forward with Choji, who unsurprisingly had a bag of chips open and was smacking on them. Naruto glares around. Idiots will always being idiots. Oh, it looks the entire Rookie 9 is together again. I heard all of our senseis nominated us. They must really think high of us. Shikamaru replies. Aw, they just want to show off. Kiba replied, leading his team forward. Ino was hugging Sasuke like no tomorrow. Sasuke was trying to get Ino off of him. Naruto, however, felt tense. Out of all the genins inside the room, only 2 caught his eye. Well, you all know what I mean. The first, of course, was Sabuka no Gaara. His chakra, however, was strange. So Naruto turned to another boy's chakra. It was massive. Nearly the same amount as Kakashi's. You all want to keep it down. You're attracting a lot of attention. A boy with silver hair replies. Who are you? Sakura snaps in a loud voice. I'm Mikushi Kabuto. And if I was all of you, I keep it down. You're all making quite a ruckus. They look around to see nearly everyone looking at them with intent to kill. You remind me of my first time taking the Chunin exams. The Kabuto replied with a smile. So is this your second time taking the exams, Kabuto-kun? Ino asked politely. Nope. It's my 7th. Kabuto replied in a nervous chuckle, scratching his head in embarrassment. That bad, these exams? Sakura replied in an easy tone. Well, they say 7 is a lucky charm. so I'm hoping to pass this time. Naruto, however, was curious. He clearly was powerful. One of the most powerful people in the room. Yet he could not pass the exams. Something was extremely wrong. How about some information? I've been collecting information for the Chunin exams. Can you do anybody taking the Chunin exams? Shikamaru asked. Sure, who are you interested in? Hyuga Niji, Rock Lee, Sabaku no Gaara, and Uzumaki Naruto. Sasuke asked before anyone else could. That's not fun, knowing their names. Makes it too easy. Very well, first Hyuga Niji. Kabuto replies as he pulls out ninja cards. Not a bad shinobi. Clearly is going to be a tough competitor this year. Next Rock Lee. Teammates are Hyuga Niji and Tenten, also a year older. Like his team, the first to enter the exams like all of you. Now Sabaku no Gaara. Interesting, did a B-rank mission and came back unscratched. Kabuto replied, letting the information sink in. They all seemed shocked to hear a genin did a B-rank mission and left unscratched. All were wondering what was he. Next Uzumaki Naruto. He's your teammate. Blind, unable to see from an accident since the age of 4. Genjutsu and Taijutsu are 0. Written test is also a 0. Ninjutsu. Well, he manages to get a decent grade. Don't know how he became a shinobi. His stats are extremely low. What about the ninja villages? Ino asked. There are many hidden villages. However, there are only so many that even come here to Konoha for the Chunin exams. IWA is out the question. They have a huge grudge against Konoha and are still licking their wounds from the last war. Kumo too. We have also been at war with Kumo and they didn't send any genins because of constant political arguments. Kiri didn't send ending because of their everlasting civil war. So we pretty much get rain, grass, waterfall, Suna and this new village, sound. What about this village sound? Are they any good? Sakura asks. Nope, they are a brand new village and isn't most likely a threat. Before anyone could react, 3 figures were rushing past everyone towards the little group. Kabuto seemed to have noticed. He turns around and deflected the senbins. The guy wearing heavy clothing and bandages attacks Kabuto, nearly missing his face. Kabuto jumped back from the last attack with a smile and took a defensive stance. The 3 genins, apparently from sound, stop and look at Kabuto. Before anyone could say anything, Kabuto's glasses broke. Ah, I see. So that's the kind of attack you used. Kabuto replied, taking off his glasses. Actually, no, I used that kind of attack. The boy replied calmly. Kabuto froze in place and fell down, almost looking like he was sick. Before the rookie 9 could react, Kabuto spat out blood. Hold on, how is that possible? That punch never connect. I saw the entire thing. Sasuke demanded in an uneasy tone. Was that a dog whistle? Naruto replied, rubbing his ears. Everyone turned to look at him. To their surprise, blood was coming out from it. Naruto, what happened? Sakura asked in shock. I swear that was a dog whistle. Only much sharper and more intense. Damn, my ears hurt. Naruto complained as he tried to stop the bleeding. The sound team looked a little shocked, unable to react at this remark. His remark was nearly on the money. What is wrong with Naruto? Ino asked. That's right. Naruto has sensitive ears. Sakura then told them about Naruto's little secret. Flashback. Hey Naruto. What? Naruto barked at Sakura. It was 2 days after they came back the mist and Sakura approached him before Kakashi arrived. Sasuke stood there looking a little annoyed. How do you get around if you can't see? This question made Sasuke look at the blonde with interest. He never thought of that. Instincts. Naruto answered after a few moments of silence. What do you mean instincts? Sakura demanded. This was not the answer she was seeking. Like I said, instincts. It's common for human sense to increase when they lose a sense. A blind mind can easily gain a new ability to survive. In my case, I use 2 things mostly. My ears and nose. My ears are 100 times more sensitive than yours or anyone else's. Also, I use my nose to smell my surroundings. It's also a way for me to know who is around and who is who. It's how I can tell you 2 apart. Sakura, you always wear cherry perfume. Sasuke always cleans his clothes once a week. And Kakashi, well, not sure you want to know. Naruto replies in a calm tone. Sakura looked amazed at this information. She was about to leave Naruto alone when he spoke again. Sakura, sometimes you see the world in a different light. When you can no longer see. My nose and ears are my eyes now. If I lose them, I might lose everything that's left of me. Naruto replied in a calm tone. End flashback. They were surprised to hear Naruto's ears were sensitive. To confirm this, everyone turned to Kiba. Akamaru gave a growl and a bark and Kiba spoke. Naruto's right. It was something like a dog whistle. Akamaru told me? Kiba replied calmly. What does that mean? Sasuke asked. Mostly likely it's a sound wave that gives off the sound of a dog whistle. Sakura replied as if in deep thought. Naruto wanted to smile. For once, the pink-hair girl used her brain. She was very close to the truth. Naruto smirked at the sound ninjas. They didn't seem too happy that they discovered the attack in a matter of moments. Alright, settle down everyone. A loud voice roared at the front of the room. When the smoke cleared, there stood a Jounin along with some Chunins. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm Marino Ibiki, your first examiner protector. The man replied in a black trench coat. You sound ninjas, no fighting unless given permission. Even with permission you cannot kill your opponents. Now then, you all have a number from downstairs. You will take your seats and begin. Now you will be given a written test. Naruto tuned Ibiki out and began to sleep for the exam. He could have easily seen his intentions. However, he would rather be more relaxed. After an hour, Ibiki failed everyone who was shitless to continue. Those who had survived now face a blood-lusting Anko. Anko seemed very pleased with all the genins. She even said she was going to have fun with them. She told them simply to follow them and lead them to a sealed-off area. Alright, welcome to the Forest of Death, Anko replied. However, every genin became aware she was actually enjoying herself. Now, I need everyone to sign these, Anko replied, holding up papers. What are those? A boy in a black jumpsuit asks. There will be deaths involved in this examination. These are papers saying you're okay with killing and getting killed. Besides, I hate paperwork. Especially with deaths that I'm responsible for. When everyone is finished, turn them into the booth and get a scroll. Your object is to get 2 scrolls and bring them to the tower. Here you go. Anko then held up 2 scrolls. The Heaven and Earth scroll. Now let's begin. Anko cried, grinning like a bloodlust idiot. It was several moments later that Team 7 walks out of the tent with the Heaven scroll. They walked towards Gate 14 and waited for the examination to begin. Anko watched the blonde-haired genin with interest. It was said he was helpless and unable to fight. However, she suspected that was what he wanted people to think. Ibiki, being the head integrator for ANBU division, also gave several reports believing that the boy was hiding more than he letting out. Flashback 6 years ago. What? You want us to watch the blind boy? Anko shouted at the Hokage. Several ANBU members stood there as well, curious to know what this was about. They knew it wasn't protecting the boy. So they all wanted to know why. Something is not right about him. He may look like he is helpless. However, every time he comes to visit me or me to visit him, his chakra is larger than it normally should be. Not only that, I've noticed he disappears for quite some time. Even I can't find him. I want to know what he is doing during this time of periods. Discover it. Hi! The team shouted. 6 weeks later. For weeks the ANBU teams have been watching Naruto carefully. However, he mostly sat on the swing looking extremely sad. Or watch as he got pounded into the ground by the civilians. They felt ashamed that they had to watch the boy endure all of this punishment every day. However, they couldn't find anything about him training other than some basic academy training. One thing they all agreed on, it was as if the boy could see them. They each had felt eyes watching them. In the end, the Hokage called off the investigation. However, everyone in ANBU now felt the blonde was more than meets to the eyes. End flashback. Anko knew it was no secret everyone in ANBU felt a little uneasy around the blind boy. Even Hatake Kakashi reported Naruto chakra was larger than he let out. Several people tried to spy on him, but no one could get the information they needed. Anko just sighed. She wanted to know his secret so badly it was killing her. She hopes this exam would help the ANBU bring it out. Okay, let's begin. Anko shouted as the gates swung open. Team 7. The gates swung open and Naruto, however, walked only a few feet into the forest when he called for a stop. Sasuke, use your Sharingan and find us a safe place to talk. Sasuke did as he was told and looked around with his Sharingan. He soon found a large bush that could hide anyone from view. Okay, listen up. This exam is not what it seems to be. First off, everyone is our enemy. We have no allies in this battlefield. Not even our fellow Leaf Ninja are allies. For our fellow rookies, what can you tell me about them? Naruto asked his teammates. They all look at him with confused looks. Naruto gave a sigh. He wanted to beat them up so badly. First off, Team 10. An information gathering squad. They gather information and use it to their advantage. Shikamaru and Ino gather information. Choji is their back-upper. He is the backbone while those two are the brains. So their team is pretty well balanced. Then there is Team 8, our worst type of opponent. A Hyuga, a Inuzuka, a Abraham. Each of these abilities is known for tracking and scouting, also making them a survival team. I know it's nearly impossible to sneak up on an Inuzuka, however no one here doesn't know that. That information is vital to us. The same goes for a Hyuga. With their Byakugan they cannot be sneaked upon and can see through genjutsu, traps and have a 360 degree of eyesight. Not to mention they can see at night as if it was day. An Abraham can be tricky. With their ability they can know about us approaching and can defeat us in moment of seconds. Also, let's stay out of the way from Hyuga Niji's team. As combat specialists they are also not a team we want to cross. Also, let me see the scroll. Naruto asked as Sasuke pulled out the scroll. Naruto then pulled out 5 scrolls of his own. These are fake heaven and earth scrolls. While you two were standing at the gate I was creating these. Take one of each. I marked the sides to help you two tell the difference. If you get in a tight situation use these scrolls and bail out immediately. There is no telling what type of dangers. Also, I'm going to give our team a little advantage in this examination. Kirigakyu no Jutsu. Naruto replied. Instantly, mist started to appear around the area before it became thick enough to blind everyone around them. Sasuke was surprised to see Naruto knew the hidden mist technique. Even more surprised his Sharingan couldn't see any chakra. Naruto stood up. Listen, keep close to me. This mist is really thick and can block a lot of senses. So follow me. I'm used to this type of situation and keep close. Did you know about this? Sakura asked Sasuke in a low voice. No. Plus, what is bugging me is the information he has on the Hyuga clan. Not even I could get that type of information on them. He seems to be certain they would be extremely bad for us. Well, I have to agree that this situation does help us. Try to be quiet, Sakura. We don't need to encounter ninjas unnecessary here. Sasuke replied, taking off after Naruto. Sakura soon followed. Another part of the forest. Orochimaru was not happy. He knew there was no mist ninjas in the area. However, a powerful mist that jammed all of his abilities to sense people suddenly cut him off. Twice he hit his head on a branch. He knew he might not even get the Uchiha in time. 5 days later. Nearly 5 teams stood strong and ready for their final exam. They stood in what appeared in a battle arena waiting for the Hokage to speak. Congratulations to everyone who managed to survive and complete the second stage of the Chunin exams. However, before we begin the third exam, we are going to have small premonition round. Hate. A puff of smoke appeared and a pale-looking Jounin appeared before everyone. I'm Gecko Hate, your proctor for the pre-final Chunin exam. First, is there anyone who would like to withdraw from the exams? Kabuto immediately raised his hand. I give up, Kabuto shouted. Yoryakushi Kabuto. Very well, you may go. The third said as Kabuto gave a bow and thanks and walk out. His teammates stopped him and whispered in a conversation no one could hear. Naruto looked at Kabuto, curious to know why he was quitting. He was brought back to attention when Sasuke smirked as he was up first. Naruto, however, paid very little attention. Shikamaru got a victory over the sound girl. Shino also defeated the other sound guy who could spit high-pressure wind from his hands. Naruto knew he had to watch out for Shino. The 2 sand genins also defeated 2 leaf shinobi, putting them in the hospital. Ino and Sakura also ended up fighting each other. However, this was not called exciting for either had talent in Naruto's opinion. Finally Naruto's turn came. Inuzuka Kiba vs Uzumaki Naruto. Kiba boasted about how he got lucky and was going to win. I feel sorry for you, brat. Just to show you some mercy, I'll end this in one punch, Kiba declared. Naruto said nothing. Naruto's staff leaned forward as if mocking Kiba to come forward. Kiba grew angry at Naruto for not even responding. Here I come, Kiba declared. He launched himself at Naruto shouting gotcha happily. This, however, was a mistake as Naruto ducked from his attack and Kiba fell and rolled until he hit the wall. Kiba got up wiping blood from his mouth he somehow got during his roll. His eyes showed the frustration. You know, you shouldn't be so loud. It gives you away in a heartbeat, Naruto replied calmly. You just got lucky. Next time you won't get so lucky. Akamaru, here you go. Kiba shouted, throwing him a soiled pill. Akamaru ate it in one gulp. Naruto didn't even show any emotions. Jujin Bunshin no Jutsu, Kiba cried as Akamaru transformed into a perfect copy of Kiba. Kiba, together with Akamaru, attacked Naruto. However, Naruto would always evade his attacks. Finally, after Akamaru got hit by Naruto's staff, he flew back on Kuniku's and his technique dispelled. Akamaru! You team! Kiba shouted. He grabbed the staff and pulled. To his surprise, it came easily. Kiba swung to hit Naruto in the head with his own staff, however Naruto evaded it and spun around in a 360-degree in his spot. Kiba then realized what Naruto was holding. His eyes opened in fear to see Naruto's blade coming closer to him. Kiba made an attempt to get out the way, however, it was too late. Everyone on the sideline watched as if time had stopped. They could only see Naruto's blade come closer and closer. Their hearts pounding, sweat dropping. It felt an eternity until Naruto's sword pierced through Kiba's rib cage and came out until the other side. Naruto showed no emotion as his sword pierced through Kiba, nor as the blood splattered everywhere. He just pulled out his sword and dropped it. He then walked up to the balcony where everyone was waiting. I'm sorry, Naruto whispered to Kurenai as he passed her. Kurenai wanted to cry. She felt responsible for getting her student killed. She could only watch as the medic shinobis placed Kiba on the rack and prepared to move her. One of the medic shinobis walked up to her. Are you Inuzuka Kiba-sensei? Hi. Please come this way. He motioned her to follow him. Kakashi and Asuma also followed Kurenai. With Kurenai, Kakashi, Asuma, and medic ninja. Not dead? The blow looked fatal, however it was not. It missed a vital point by 8 centimeters. Inuzuka Kiba is still alive. However, what questions me is the killing blow. This is not the work of an amateur. I haven't seen this since a member of the 7 Swordsmen of the Mist. That was nearly 30 years ago. What about Kiba? How will this? He is expected to make a full recovery. That is all. The medic ninja bowed and left. Kurenai, I'm going to tell you this now. The Sandaime Hokage is suspicious of Naruto. He believes Naruto is far more powerful than he appears and is not so helpless as he seems. Right now, there are A and B watching and keeping a close eye on him. This news isn't that shocking, especially after what I witnessed in Wave. Kurenai, do not tell your team until the day before the finals about Kiba. Okay. Kakashi whispered. Kurenai nodded, her interest truly piquing. Uzumaki Naruto was more powerful than he appeared. While this was true for all shinobis, but to have A and B watch your every move was crazy. Truly something else was behind the scenes. Next match, Hyuga Neji vs. Hyuga Hinata. Hate called out. Kurenai, do you have a charm or something? That's the 3rd time in a row your team has been called. Kakashi joked. Kurenai said nothing. She knew he was trying to take her mind off the last match and the information she just learned. Instead, something else entered her mind as she heard Guy speaking with Neji. Neji, don't let your hatred for the main house get involved. Promise me. Guy spoke. He did not speak in his usual tone, but in a serious tone, which meant he wasn't going to take anything lightly. What if I refuse? Then I'll cancel this match and give it to Hinata. Guy replied in the same tone. Neji closed his eyes. Alright, I'll keep my emotions in check. Neji walked down, ignoring Guy's look on his face. Hinata stood there looking extremely nervous. Hinata-sama, before we begin, I have some advice for you. Give up. Neji replied in a calm manner. Hinata looked shocked. You're nothing but a spoiled child from the main house and has no skills whatsoever to belong here. I offer you this chance to walk away and don't get hurt. After, a spoiled child will always be a spoiled child. Neji smirked to see Hinata panicking. She didn't want to give up, but she wanted to prove to him she was no spoiled child and she was different. How could she do that? How could she stand up to her father if she couldn't stand up to Neji? The clan would disown her if she couldn't stand up to a branch member. Naruto, however, saw the mind game Neji was playing. He decided to add his own 2 cents in this fight. Only a coward would say such words. A coward who is afraid of fighting and facing an opponent who can do those things. A coward would only say it's impossible to change things because they say so. Naruto replied. Hinata looked at him in shock. Hinata, why don't you prove him wrong? Why don't you fight? Naruto asked. Naruto-kun. Hinata thought before looking down at herself. She immediately started to remember her father, her sister, her family, and everything she knows. How much she hated it and wanted to change. Niji, get ready, and let us fight. What's going on? She was close to breaking down a moment ago. Did those words really encourage her enough to fight? Niji thought with the annoying idea that he would fight. This must be hard for cousins having to fight each other, Ino said. No. Hinata-chan is a member of the main house, while Niji is a member of the branch house. These two houses have had a lot of trouble in the past. So there is going to be a lot of intense fighting between the two, Lee replied back. You mean hatred? Sakura asked in shock. Something about a Hyuga clan secret. I do not know. However, it pretty much has destroyed the clan from within, separating both the main and branch house. Naruto didn't say anything. For once he didn't tell Sakura to shut up or give off any killing intent to let her know she was ticking him off. He just remained motionless and quiet, as if a statue was in his place. Naruto, are you okay? Sakura asked. Kakashi watched carefully, observing the blonde. Something was wrong. Yes. Naruto replied calmly. This reply sounded much different than any of his other replies. It sounded as if he was more focused on the match instead. Interesting, isn't it? Kakashi asked, hoping the blonde would express his feelings. Naruto, however, said nothing. He just remained how he was. Kakashi sighed. Niji and Hinata kept palming each other. Finally, Hinata managed to give him a slight tap with her jukin. Niji got pissed that she managed to hit him. He jumped back and got ready again. This time, he would come at her with more power. Hinata, however, started to get confident and believed she could win. She rushed forward, meeting Niji head-on. They both struck. Niji with both palms, Hinata with one. Hinata gasps as she spat out blood as she felt her heart nearly give up. Your chakra points are no more in your right hand, Hinata-sama. Niji replied, rolling up her sleeves so she could see. Niji calmly relaxed as Hinata's eyes opened in fear. Your eye, it can? Yes. You're finished, Hinata-sama. Niji replied calmly. Hinata, however, didn't want to get up. She shoved Niji's hand aside and attacked again, only for Niji to counter and pick her apart. She finally collapsed and was unable to continue. Hinata-sama, you should understand by now. Your attacks didn't even affect me from the start. Like I said, you cannot change. Niji replied. He turned around to speak to Naruto only to see Naruto was walking away. Naruto? Where are you going? To train. Surely you want to see the rest of the exams? Sakura asked. Kakashi also looked at the blonde. Nope, I rather train. Tell me about it later, okay, Sakura? Naruto replied as he walked out the arena. Hinata, Niji. You have no idea what you're about to unleash. Thanks to you two, my training will finally be complete. I thank you? Naruto thought with a passion as he disappeared from the tower. Naruto walked towards his apartment when he felt a presence behind him. What is it? Kakashi? Naruto replied. Kakashi froze at the name. Naruto didn't call him sensei. The only time Naruto just called him by his name meant he wanted to be alone. Naruto, I know I haven't been much of a sensei for you, so I'm going to train you after the Chunin exams are over. Sorry, Naruto, but I promised Sasuke I would help him train for the finals. But don't worry, I found someone who will overlook your training. Kakashi replied, hoping to get an expression from the blonde. No thanks, I'm going to go train on my own. I don't need any help, Kakashi-sensei. Thank you though. Naruto just walked away. He didn't look back and disappeared into the crowd. Ebisu walked forward and stood next to Kakashi. Why didn't you stop him? Because he has to learn. He is still young. I believe he can do the things he can do. Anyways, try to get him to train. It would be good for him. However, could you try to pester him to let you train him? Kakashi walked away. Naruto, you are a better sensei than I am. I'm a failure in so many ways despite being called a genius. I've always failed time and time again. You knew what's it like to teach others because of your fate. Naruto, please forgive me. Kakashi thought as he pulled out his book. Naruto walked over to where a waterfall was flowing beautifully. Naruto, however, took no interest in that. He immediately began to train. He reached in his pocket and pulled out a scroll. A sword popped out of the smoke. This sword was flat and about half the size of Naruto. Naruto is still small, so this sword is common to be nearly half his size. He is still the same height he was in the manga and anime before Shippuden. Naruto released his chakra and jumped in the air and swung his sword. Ebisu, who was watching, jaw dropped in shock. Naruto knew chakra manipulation. This was something even high-level jonins had trouble with. Before he could move, Naruto swung his sword and a wave was shot out. Naruto cried Kaze Kirite. The whole area erupted with explosions. Ebisu flew back unconscious, shocked to see such power. I don't like people watching me, Naruto replied calmly. Naruto paused and noticed he also destroyed the woman's hot springs bathhouse. It was only then the woman noticed someone was standing there peeking through the little hole. They screamed and covered themselves up and ran for their lives. What are you doing? Naruto asked, walking up to the old man. He rested his sword on his shoulders. The old man looked shocked to see all the beautiful babes run away. He was about to give the young boy a piece of his mind when he noticed two things. One was the boy was blind. Two was the sword on his shoulder. Impossible, that sword is Kikin. Where did this Gaki get it from? Surely not from his mother. Nor his father, so where? Old man, you okay? Old man, I have a name, you know. The pervert shouted. Really, you just seem like a plain old pervert to me, Naruto replied calmly. He gripped his sword tightly. It was most likely this man recognized his sword, which he thought was impossible. However, what worried Naruto was the amount of chakra he had. It was nearly as massive as the Sandaime Hokage. I'm not a pervert, I'm a super pervert, he cried, getting into a little stance. Naruto walked away, clearly not interested. I hate perverts, Naruto replied calmly. What you doing? The old man asked. Training, Naruto replied calmly. What's your name? None of your business, Naruto replied. The old man was walking beside him and wouldn't leave him alone. Finally, Naruto stopped and pointed his sword at his throat. Leave me alone. Look, Gaki, you're interesting. How about I teach you a few things? No thanks. I'm merely preparing myself to fight against the Hyuga in the Chunin exams final, Naruto replied calmly. Oh, you're in the finals of the Chunin exams. Also, your opponent is a Hyuga. Not good for you, is it? To be honest, I don't know if the Hyuga is my opponent. I'm just training to prepare for him. So who is your opponent? I don't know. Who are you and why won't you leave me alone? Look, Gaki, before asking someone else's name you should tell them yours first. Naruto looked like he was going to explode it. After taking a few breaths, he breathed out Uzumaki Naruto. I was right, Kushina's and Minato's kid. It seems Sarutobi-sensei was correct. He can no longer see, however, he seems to rely on chakra around him to move and fight. I'm Jiraiya, also known as the legendary Toad Sannin. Naruto finished. Now Naruto's interest was peaking. He didn't expect to meet two Sannin in less than 5 days. Would he meet the third? Oh, so you heard of me. I must be popular. Actually, I heard of you from Orochimaru. Jiraiya's face fell. You know Orochimaru? Not really, met him in the forest. He bit the back of the neck on my teammate. Gave him some sort of seal. He talk about you in a bit. Said I reminded him of you? In a negative light, Naruto replied. A/N, remember, the events of the Forest of Death hasn't been written down. I will reveal it in about 4 or 5 chapters from now. So Orochimaru is here. Take it you two are not on good terms. Nope, not really. Anyways, how about I help you with your training? Sure, Naruto replied. This time he was more polite. After all, how many times do you get offered to be trained by a Sannin themselves? Okay, do you know what a summoning contract is? Yes. I have 2. Naruto replied and removed his arm guards to show Jiraiya 2 summoning tattoos. Jiraiya raised his eyebrows when he saw the wolf contract. However, he truly panicked when he noticed the other contract. The Phoenix. Not only does he have one, but he has 2. I'm amazed the wolf boss actually allowed someone to summon him again. What worries me is the Phoenix. Not once has anyone ever managed to please the Phoenix. If he managed to do that, then how powerful is this Gaki? Well, that's rare. However, how would you like 3? The Toad contract. Correct. Jiraiya formed seals and summoned a frog. The frog was bigger than Jiraiya. Naruto felt a little tense when the frog opened its mouth and spat out a summoning contract. Sign it with your blood. The seals are. Naruto fell to death ears. He looked at the name besides his empty slot. Namikaze Minato. So the 4th was trained by Jiraiya the Toad Sannin. I get the feeling he will become a better sensei than the Kakashi. After all, Kakashi has helped me with my new jutsu without realizing so. Naruto signed the contract and bit his thumb as he formed the seals he saw Jiraiya do earlier. Ichi placed his hand on the ground. Before Jiraiya could react, he now saw the toe of the toad boss Gamabunta. Jiraiya, where the hell are you, you pervert? Gamabunta roared. Down there. Naruto replied, who was standing on the boss's head. Who are you? Uzumaki Naruto. Did he say Uzumaki? I thought they were Wipeout. This kid, is he Minato's child? Don't lie to me, kid. You need 100 years before you can summon me. Naruto said nothing. True, he had to go through the same ordeal with his Wolf and Phoenix contract. So Naruto jumped off Gamabunta's head and bit both thumbs and rubbed them on his seals. He then clapped his hands and formed some seals. Niju Kuchios no Jutsu! Naruto cried. For a moment Gamabunta and Jiraiya leap off towards his death. However, when he formed his seals and shouted those words, they froze in shock. Did he say a double summoning jutsu? Is that even possible? Jiraiya thought. He was too shocked to move when a wolf's paw nearly stepped on him. Naruto, why did you summon us? The wolf spoke. Shiken-san, Cookie-san, merely to meet my new summoner. Naruto spoke in a calm and respectful voice. Most likely to prove you were worthy of the Toad summoning contract. Shirkan responded. Yes, that too. Gamabunta-kun, take this boy. He is truly gifted and a genius. The two of us know, we work with him for a while through our children, and they have said nothing but good things about this boy. Cookie responded in her beautiful soft voice. Don't get me wrong, I was going to allow him to be my subordinate. After all, I was deeply impressed he could summon me the first time. Not even the fourth could do that. Jiraiya was speechless. Never did he suspect Naruto to be able to summon 3 bosses in 3 minutes, and jump down not even looking wind. The bosses all disappeared, leaving Jiraiya and Naruto alone. Minato, did you create a prodigy? Jiraiya knew he was in for one crazy month. 1 month later. The federal lords were being carried by their guards and being protected by their shinobi. Alone sitting on a pole sat a shinobi with long blonde hair. Dressed a lot like Hai from Yu Yu Hakusho and similar to Sasuke in the Chunin exams. So a blend in the two, Naruto stood up watching the federal lords with little interest. When the fireworks started, he disappeared from his position. Naruto appeared in the stadium before any of the other participants. Standing before him was a jounin with a metal toothpick. Naruto didn't have to wait long, everyone showed up besides Sasuke and another person who turned out to be a sound genin. I'm Ginma, you're a protector for the finals. Like the preliminaries exams, there are no rules. Now everyone, take a look at this. Ginma replied, pulling out a sheet. Naruto looked at it, and noticed he was first against Hyuga Niji. Perfect. The lineup was a bit different due to the fact the sound genin was found dead. So take a good look at your opponent. Okay, Uzumaki Naruto and Hyuga Niji is to remain here while everyone else goes up to the waiting room. This guy isn't the type to quit even if I tell him it's useless. However, I'm not going to waste my time with him. I'll end this in one blow. It's useless. A blind boy against Niji is an embarrassment itself. He stands no chance against Niji's offense and defense. Tenten thought with pity for Naruto. Watch closely, Hanabi. Niji is gifted in the Hyuga clan is very rare. His talent is even greater than your sister. Greater than Nei-chan? The young girl asked her father. Perhaps even greater than you. The little girl's eyes opened wide. It wasn't every day you heard your father say those words. I bet the Hyuga is going to win. They say he is a prodigy in the Hyuga clan. The grass Damo replied. I too bet on the Hyuga. The waterfall Damo replied. Everyone was talking about betting on the Hyuga. The water Damo looked at the boy's name. Next to him was a ninja who looked like she was 12. He looked at his stats and saw they were incredible low. If this boy was this low, he shouldn't have passed the first exam. If he was who he thought he was, then he was hiding his true strength. He knew Uzumaki escaped the bloody crusade 20 years ago, marking only survivor. If he was that Uzumaki's child, then he should have this match in the bag. After Konoha wouldn't have thought of a last name for an Afan like Uzumaki unless 50 million ryo on the Uzumaki boy. The water Damo replied. Damo-sama, that's all of our country's money. The little girl cried in shock. Every Damo and ninja leader looked at him. Very well, water Damo Dano, I'll take you on that bet. I enjoy laughing in your face when you lose. Soon every daimyo and ninja leader took on the water daimyo's challenge. After all, a blind boy who resides on luck can't beat a prodigy of the Hyuga clan, right? Keiko, watch closely. This boy's abilities might even be greater than you. What do you mean? I'm perhaps the strongest in the mist. True, however, this boy is different. If my hunch is right, the Hyuga boy has no chance of winning. Just remembering that report brought me chills. 50 years ago flashback. The Mist and Leaf have been at war for 3 years. The Water Daimyo and the Fire Daimyo brought their countries to war because of some port control problems. Now, they had their ninja fighting to the death. The Mizukage was talking to the new Water Daimyo, with the Water Daimyo was his son. The 9-Dame Mizukage look up after hearing a knock. Come in. 2 ninjas wearing Whirlpool ninja bands walk in. Thank you for coming, Uzumaki-samas. Both the Water Daimyo and Mizukage bowed before the 2 ninjas. The 2 Uzumakis bowed back. You said you needed us for a possible A or S class mission. Yes, there have been reports of the Hyuga clan and the Uchiha clan are moving as one force on the eastern borders of their country. Mostly likely they are going to invade Kiri. The 9-Dame Mizukage replied. Never before has Kiri been invaded. I would like to keep it that way. Many of our own clans cannot stop the Hyuga and Uchiha if they are indeed moving as one force. The Water Daimyo replied. Invading as one force of the female Uzumaki replied and put her hand on her chin like she was thinking. I doubt they are invading to destroy us. The male replied. What do you mean? The Water Daimyo asked. If what you say is true, then this isn't an invasion force, this is a recon unit. One of their biggest. The female replied, removing her hand from her chin. I fail to see how that is possible. Please explain, Uzumaki-samas. If this was an invasion force, then they wouldn't just send Hyuga, but also other ninjas. Most likely this new Sannin group of theirs would be leading the attack. Also with other ninjas and the one known as the Professor. The woman replied. Also, what also suggests this is a recon unit instead of an invasion force is the type of shinobis they are using. The Hyuga clan and Uchiha clan. My bet is simple, they are going to be working in pairs and split up once they get here. The Hyuga are going to serve as scouters and lookouts, while the Uchihas will be spying on our style and find any weakness as well as observe the landscape. The male stated in a calm voice. In other words, they are preparing for an invasion, the woman said. I didn't think of that. The 9-Dame Mizukage replied, sweating at the thought of the least success of this mission. What they say makes sense. I can see now. Hyugas and Uchihas as a recon unit. This way they can most likely complete all the information they need less than 1 month. The Water Daimyo panic at the thought. So our mission is to prevent them from entering Kiri? Correct. Then we should start it. The 2 of them disappeared. 10 days later. Mizukage-sama. The Chunin shouted. The Mizukage was talking to his ninja heads and didn't like to be interrupted. Do you have something to say about interrupting this meeting? The Hyuga clan and Uchiha clan has suffered heavy losses. They have retreated back to Konoha. The 2 Uzumaki-samas did it. They forced them back. Do they need treatment? No, sir. They came back unharmed. They are a bit tired, though. The Water Daimyo looked shocked. He suspected they would have been heavily injured. When the Whirlpool Daimyo offered him his help in the war, he strongly suggested to use the Uzumakis as the front lines general, or on tough missions. The Water Daimyo laughed at his face, saying his 7 swordsmen were good enough. The Water Daimyo heard they were good, but he believed his swordsmen were better. Then the Whirlpool Daimyo offered him a deal. If he won, Kiri would split everything with them 50/50. If they lost, Kiri would gain full rights in Whirlpool. They passed. End flashback. Keiko, your abilities with water are second to none. However, this boy is to be feared. Do not underestimate him. He comes from a line of family that served as guardians for Mist and all of the water countries. Keiko looked at the Water Daimyo. She didn't like that sound of what she heard. If the Water Daimyo was right, then Kiri would become much more wealthier. However, if they lost, they would be in debt that they might not come out of. First match between Hyuga Niji and Uzumaki Naruto begin. Genma shouted. No sooner had he said those words, Niji rushed forward and struck Naruto in the heart. Game over. Niji replied with confidence. Hey Niji. Is that all you got? Naruto asked. Niji jumped back in shock. Naruto didn't seem affected by the struck. You seem shocked. Let me explain. When two chakras bump heads, it's only natural the weaker one will crumple before the strong one. Looks like I was wrong about you. If Jukin is all you know, then you should give up. You can't beat me with Jukin. What did he say? Niji, however, didn't move and started to get frustrated. Niji rushed forward again. This time, Naruto reached for his sword that was on his lower back. The sword is a flat katana, similar to Sasuke's, and Naruto's wears it like Sui Fang from Bleach. Kaze Kirite, Naruto replied. He swung his sword and Niji felt himself getting pushed back into the stadium near the wall. The Anbu standing there looked shocked. Among the people who were shocked were the demos for such power in a short time. Many glared at the water demo as if questioning what did he know about this boy. Even the fire demo looked at the water demo. This event was unexpected. Among the shocked people were Temari, Baki, and half of Suna ninjas. They just heard of a wind technique never heard of. Not only that, it clearly was powerful. The technique destroyed and split the stadium in half. Thankfully, no one was hurt. The blast destroyed one of the stairs and the roof. What was that? Kaze Kirite, a wind jutsu used for short to long range. It's an A-rank attack. However, I lowered the power so I wouldn't kill you or anyone else. I'm surprised though to see you're still able to stand. However, the fight is over. You can't continue. How in the hell did you block my attack? Are you seeking vengeance for what happened to Hinata-sama? Hinata? You think I did this because of that girl? I didn't care if you had killed her. I just wanted her to fight. While I'll admit she did do a great job helping me without knowing she was doing so. She and you have served your purpose. As well as the Hyuga clan. I thank you. Every Hyuga in the stadium looked shocked at Naruto's words. Even several shinobi looked shocked. What in the hell do you mean? Niji demanded. Naruto walked calmly towards Niji. Very well, I shall tell you. I'm sick and tired of hiding who I am. So I'll tell you. Everyone was now listening very closely. When I was 4, I lost my sight from an explosion with toxin waste. Every medic shinobi stated, I would never see again. My eyes were beyond repair. That was the last time I ever been to Konoha's hospital. Then, something happened that seemed to have blessed me in my favor, Kumo's attempt kidnapping on Hyuga Hinata. However, I know this was a failed mission for Kumo, and that your father died in Hyuga Hayashi's place. However, I asked the Sandaime Hokage what was so great about Hyuga clan and why would they try twice just to get a Hyuga. He told me what he knew, in very little information as possible. But he told me enough about the Byakugan. The all-seeing eye of Konoha elites. At that moment, I knew the Byakugan were my new eyes. My ability to see the light again was here in the village all along. However, I also knew I would never get a hold of them unless I either asked the Sandaime Hokage and Hyuga clan, which would have been a direct no, or was to kill a Hyuga and take the eyes for myself. But this too would be impossible since I already was hated by the village. The villagers would have cried out for my blood. Most likely it would have happened. So I trained myself instead, creating the light for myself. Then when I was 8, fate seemed to have felt pity on me and gave me something to help my training. When I was 8 years old, I joined the academy, and I was a classmate with Hyuga Hinata. I started to watch her closely, hoping to learn about the Byakugan. However, she never used her Byakugan in class. So I was wondering if I would ever learn the Byakugan secrets. Finally, in the preliminaries my luck struck. You and Hinata were scheduled to fight. What I didn't like was the fact you badmouthed Hinata. I was angry not because of your words, but because I might not have learned the secrets of the Byakugan. So I gave words of encouragement. I challenged your words with my own. Hinata took my words to heart. While I had to watch you attempt to cripple her, I was studying both of your eyes and your fighting style. Niji, all this time I've been blind, is not 100% true. It's true even now, I'm blind, but at the same time, I can see. For years ever since the attempted kidnapping on Hyuga Hinata I created a new eye for myself. It's not a Dijitsu, but it's even greater than the Byakugan and Sharingan. I can see Niji. Just like how the Byakugan sees, only better. You're lying. There is no way your eyes are better than mine. Niji shouted. Niji, for years I've sent chakra to my eyes, from everything I heard. I gave a hint to Iruka shortly before I became a genin, but he seemed to have believed me. The reason why Hatake Kakashi was my jounin instructor was not to train me, but to keep an eye on me. Ever since I was 6 years old, ANBU have been keeping me under surveillance. However, I was careful and made sure I didn't give any slips about my abilities to the Sandaime Hokage. I was to keep my secrets secret until I felt ready to reveal them. Also, I see how well your Byakugan works. My eyes, however, can see your chakra signature. This is not your fate. Your fate is to be pathetic and hopeless. Niji shouted. angry that Naruto had managed to create such a powerful eye compared to the Byakugan. Many people were impressed he knew so much and did something that turned a disadvantage into his advantage. Naruto said nothing and showed no emotion. My fate. Niji, do you want to know why I'm revealing this now? Why after so many years of keeping all this secret, and I'm just now revealing this? Niji said nothing. He too was curious. So was everyone else. I'm a Jinchuriki Niji. A sacrifice human. When I was 5 years old, the Konoha Council made a decree. A death sentence for me. When I turn 15 years old, they will perform the sealing ritual, removing it from me and killing me. You see, Niji, there is truly 2 ways to kill me. One is to make my heart stop completely. The other is to perform the unsealing ritual on me. The Sandaime Hokage, along with half the council, were sweating bullets. How in the hell did he found out about that? What are you talking about? What the hell is a Jinchuriki? Naruto looked a little taken back. I see, well, the Sandaime Hokage has done a very good job hiding this information from the younger generation. I thought several people might have found out, including you. However, it looks like he did a very good job hiding the truth. By the looks on the Chunin ninjas though, they know what I am. If they think back nearly 13 years ago, they know what it is. Indeed, when the word Jinchuriki was said from Naruto's lips, the Chunin ninjas all jumped away from him. Many brought out kunais, but their bodies shook and their eyes spoke of one word. Fear. Like Sabuku no Gaara, I too share the same fate. He too is like me. I know because I can see his chakra. His signature told me he is very like me but has little control. To answer your question, Niji, Jinchuriki are called sacrifice humans for a reason. We are human prisons, holding back a dread creature that mankind fears. For Gaara, it would be the Ichibi, the one-tailed demon of the sand. For me, however, I have sealed inside of me the Kyuubi no Yoko. Fear spread like crazy. For those who didn't know, looked shocked and frightened. Luckily, it didn't cause a riot. Everyone was listening to Naruto. Many showed fear when they looked at him. Others, however, felt pity and sadness. Nearly everyone was brought back when Naruto wanted to join the festival, and the mothers all pulled their children away, and the mob started to beat the crap out of Naruto. Then you are a demon. You just said so yourself. You deserve to die. No wonder why you never had parents. Niji shouted. For the first time since she has known him, Naruto's face finally showed an expression. Anger. What in the hell do you know about me, huh? Naruto shouted. Everyone could hear the anger and the willpower from holding back. They suspected Naruto would have killed the Hyuga, but he was trying to hold it back. What do you know about me, huh? You have a family, people who care about you, Niji. You have 2 younger cousins who care for you. What do you know about me, when I've been alone from the start, huh? Naruto shouted. Everyone could hear him. There was so much emotions in his voice. Naruto grabbed Niji by the collar, who was too shocked by Naruto's outburst. Naruto pinned him to the wall. What do you know? What do you know? What's it like to lose everything? I don't have a mother nor father. I don't even know if my mother held me in her arms. What do you know about me, huh? You never had everything just taken from you so harshly. How would you feel? How would you feel if your own father sealed the Kyuubi no Yoko inside of you, huh? At the last sentence was shouted out, everyone's minds drew to the 4th Hokage against the Kyuubi no Yoko. Now things were starting to make sense. The 4th did ask the villagers and shinobis not to treat him but Naruto as the hero who stopped the Kyuubi no Yoko. Many now realized they were wrong and never respected the Sandaime Hokage. You're lying. Niji finally shouted, breaking the silence around the stadium. I'm lying, am I? Then I'll tell you my true name. Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto. Naruto replied. Naruto let Niji go. You have a chance to change your fate, Niji. I do not. This is the fate for all Jinchurikis. I will die and the line of the Uzumakis and Namikazes will die with me when I turn 15. Naruto walked away. Towards the waiting room. Genma finally snapped out of his little shock and replied, winner Uzumaki Nar Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto. Naruto was about to enter the waiting room when he stopped. He seemed tense. Then he drew out 2 kunais. Behind him. They struck the wall. You 2 can come on out. I can see you. 2 figures appeared. Both wearing black cloaks with red clouds, along with 2 bamboo hats. One was short and stood calmly. The other was taller and had a sword wrapped in bandages. He seemed a little twitching and wanted to grab his sword. A Sharingan user and a shark face. Who are you 2? Naruto asked, gripping his sword. Oh, guess this hats didn't serve that much against your eyes. The taller one spoke. It sounded full of excitement. Both removed their hats and looked at him. At the sight of Itachi, many shinobis took their stances in defense. Something that seemed to assume Itachi's partner. Itachi-san, you seem popular in this village. Itachi? You're Uchiha Itachi, Sasuke's Nai-san? Oh, so you know of him. Tell me, has he gotten strong? Nope, just a sore cry-baby in my opinion. I see, that's too bad. I was hoping he had become strong. What the hell are you talking about, dope? Sasuke-kun is the best. Sakura shouted. Many shinobis glared at her for the amount of disrespect she showed the Yandame's son. Before anyone could say anything to her, a kunai pierced her right shoulder. Sakura, that kunai has poison. Also, I'm sick and tired of hearing your loud voice all the time. Naruto-kun, or should I say, Naruto-sama, please come with us. Someone has a huge interest in meeting you. Itachi replied calmly. No thank you. I'm fine here. Naruto replied, turning around and walking away from the pair. He sheathed his sword. Uzumaki-sama, we were told to get you peacefully, however, should you refuse to come with us we will force. The shark face spoke. He unwrapped his sword, revealing hides as blades. Kisame, you are taking this seriously. True, he has skills, but that's nothing. He is most likely at high Chunin level. Itachi stated calmly. You're the one taking him too lightly. Kisame stated. Naruto suddenly noticed Kisame's forehead protector. A former Kirinin? This is Hashigaki Kisame. The monster of the mist. No matter, I have no interest in him. Uzumaki-sama, aren't you going to fight us? Kisame shouted towards Naruto. No. I have no interest or need to fight you too. Really? Yep, you are an Uzumaki alright. I remember during the Bloody Crusade I managed to kill 3 Uzumakis. This of course was when I was in the mist and a part of the 7 swordsmen of the mist. Kisame shouted. He hoped Naruto would turn around and attack, but nothing happened. Naruto just walking. Of course, this was impressive for a member of the 7 swordsmen. Such a feat has never happened before. Of course, there was only 4 Uzumakis left. Sadly, only one escaped from me. Just hearing her scream as my Samahata shaved her nearly to death brought joys to me ears. She should have been my 4th one. Not interested. Naruto shouted. Even if I told you her name was Uzumaki Kushina? Kisame shouted back. Naruto stopped dead in his tracks. His hands on the door, but he did not move. Then before anyone could see, Naruto's sword came crashing down on Samahata's. You tried to kill my mother? Naruto shouted. Itachi, however, stood a little shocked. Just a moment, I thought I lost him. Kisame smirked, however, inside he was worried. He recognized the sword. The Gaki has Kikken. How did he get a hold of that? Looks like I'm going to enjoy shaving you to death. Plus a reward for 90 million ryu for your head, Uzumaki-sama. Kisame shouted. Naruto said nothing but let his chakra rise. Naruto jumped back and shouted Kaze Kirite. Kisame brought his Samahata up and destroyed the wind that was coming towards him. Nani! Naruto shouted. My Samahata not only shaves, but devours chakra. Kisame shouted. Kaze Kirite. Naruto cried, attacking again. That's pointless. It's just a waste of chakra. Kisame shouted, bringing his Samahata to deflect the attack. When he looked at Naruto again, he was shocked to see Naruto's sword inches from his face. Kisame dodged the blade but looked shocked when he felt a cut on his face. As expected, Uzumaki-sama. Naruto jumped to the rail and leaped into the air. Kisame followed him. Kaze Kirite. Naruto roared, swinging his sword at Kisame. Kisame brought his sword and deflected, falling to the earth. Naruto landed on the top of the wall and glared at Kisame. Kisame, you're taking too long. I'm going to end this. Itachi shouted. Really, you're the one taking me too lightly. Naruto replied, disappearing in a puff of smoke. Kagebunshin? Itachi stated, his eyes open in shock. Like I said, you're taking me too lightly. Naruto replied. Kaze Bakuho. Itachi couldn't stop it. Before he could stop it, a powerful wind hit him with full force, launching him to the stadium wall. Kaze Kirite. Naruto shouted. Kisame saw the danger and immediately rushed to jump in front of it. However, another Naruto popped out of the ground with a sword in hand. Kisame blocked it. Itachi. Itachi took a direct hit. He was unable to block the attack. Itachi. When the smoke cleared, there stood Uchiha Itachi. However, his cloak was nearly gone, and he was panting heavily as blood came out of his body. So you survived a direct hit from my Kaze Kirite. Even when I used it at full power. However, you shouldn't have survived, because Kaze Kirite has a second ability. Naruto replied, calmly smirking. Itachi's eyes opened wide when he felt something sting him. He kneeled over and started coughing. Kaze Kirite can shut down all chakra in a certain area it touches. That's why it's called the Wind Cutter. Because it cuts through chakra and shuts it down. Naruto replied. Both Narutos disappeared in a puff of smoke. Both of them were Kage Bunshins. Then where is he? Kisame shouted. Behind you. Kaze Kirite. Naruto shouted. Kisame turned around, unable to fully protect himself from the attack. Kisame jumped back, trying to stop the bleeding from his leg. He was frustrated. The brat was even better than he originally thought. Never before has this happened to him. What's taking so long? The brat is even better than we expected, Kisame replied. You're telling me you can't get a low-ranking genin? True. His skills are even greater than an ANBU captain. Capture him now. Permission to use lethal force, Kisame replied. Denied. If we use lethal force, we will leave ourselves vulnerable to the ANBU here. We must be fast and strong enough to outrun them once we have the boy, Itachi replied. You're not understanding the situation. Itachi, he's a Uzumaki. We have no choice but to use lethal force. I thought the two of us would be good enough. We must use lethal force, Kisame shouted. What does being a Uzumaki have anything to do with? You seemed very excited to challenge Uzumaki Naruto. You asked you and Itachi be the ones to bring him to headquarters. Now you're saying he is dangerous because he is an Uzumaki? Uzumaki is just a name. Kisame, you saying he should be feared because of that? Who are you two talking to? Naruto spoke. Itachi and Kisame look a little taken back. What are you talking about? We are merely speaking with each other, Itachi stated calmly. It's take you nearly a minute to respond back. Also, you may have every else fool with that little code talking, however you can't fool me. Don't forget, I can see chakra. And someone else's chakra is here even though they are not here. I asked again, who are you talking to? Itachi and Kisame said nothing but remained silent. You have no equipment on you yet you are talking to someone. Who is it? Again silence met Naruto's demands. Could it be the leader of your organization, Akatsuki? Immediately, Itachi and Kisame face showed shock and surprise. Permission to use lethal force granted. Capture him at all costs. Find the source. Pain orders. I don't know how you heard about us, however, no more Mr. Nice Guy. You are coming with us no matter what, Itachi stated. Jump back as Kisame's chakra rose. Samahada Junsatai, Kisame shouted. Immediately, Samahada's hides grew and soon spikes stood on the sword. Kisame pointed his sword at Naruto and roared. Kasuaho, hundreds of spikes were fired at a rapid speed towards Naruto. Naruto spun his sword and shouted Kaze Keishu. All the spikes that were shot out of Samahada only to be destroyed just inches from Naruto. Naruto looked behind him to see Itachi coming at him with a kunai in his hands. Naruto ducked and jumped to the side. Suiton, Suikoden no Jutsu, Kisame shouted. Kaze Kirite, Naruto roared, destroying the water missile with his attack. Naruto jumped back and formed some seals. Sanjukuchios no Jutsu, Naruto roared. What did he say? Kisame said with his eyes open in shock. 3 large summoning appeared from the smoke. A wolf, a toad and a phoenix stood there while Naruto stood on the toad's head. Kisame threw his sword in the air and clapped his hands together. He took a deep breath and drew Bak. Suiton Baku Sui Shuha. Large water spat out of Kisame's mouth and Kaise's caught his sword with ease. He stood on top of the water. When the water calmed down, Kisame formed seals once again. Kuchios no Jutsu. As I thought, he summoned sharks. A massive great white shark appeared out of the water. Kisame, why have you summoned me? Simple, that brat summoned 3 bosses at once. Do not lie, Kisame. There is no such jutsu. I did not believe it either, however the brat did it. Also, this might interest you, he's the last Uzumaki. You lie. There are no more Uzumakis left. The Sandai Mizuki had them hunted down. Are you just saying this to get me to fight? Remember Kisame, you killed 3 Uzumakis. You're forgetting the 4th Uzumaki I encounter. She escaped the crusade and made refuge here in Konoha. She had a son. This boy is her son. Uzumaki Kushina. That's right, I did hear she did escape the crusade, after the beating you gave her. The rest of the Uzumakis quickly were killed as well. I heard they burned down everything they owned too before Kiri's army defeated. Such a shame it nearly cost them their entire force just to kill 6 people. When Kisame's jutsu hit, the 3 summoning took leave. Shurkan jumped onto the roof while Gamabunta jumped on the water and Cookie took to the air. Shark Mida never had any. Shurkan replied in a tough voice. Oh, Mutt, keep your mouth shut and learn your place. The shark roared. Gamabunta merely took a puff and let out a smoke from his pipe. The smoke went into the eyes of the shark and he gasped out the smoke. Hey, frog legs, are you asking to become a part of my stomach? Nope, merely enjoying my time as the dead shark meat is present to my children. Gamabunta spoke calmly. He gripped his dagger, which appeared more like a sword to many shinobis. Genma jumped to the rail and watched with interest. He looked at the Hokage and saw he did not give the signal to attack. Hokage-sama, how long will you let this go on? Itachi also noticed the Sandaime Hokage did not order his ninjas to attack and defend the Yondaime's son. He was wondering what was going on with the Sandaime Hokage. He didn't know a mystery surrounded the boy. Was the Sandaime Hokage hoping today would reveal the mystery? Let's do this, Kisame shouted. No need to tell me, I already know. The great white shark disappeared into the waters and quickly Naruto formed seals as Gamabunta seemed to get bigger. Then without warning, Naruto blew out fire from his mouth as Gamabunta released oil. Katan, Gamea and Naruto roared. The whole area was soon erupted with hot fire. Anyone like roasted shark? Naruto called out. At that moment, the great white came out seeming as the boiled took started affecting on his skin. Damn brat, Suetun, Suikoden no Jutsu. Kisame roared. Gamabunta formed a tiger seal and cried. Suetun, Teppadama? The water gun bullet crushed Kisame's water shark missile and sent him flying. Naruto jumped in the air and looked like he was dancing as he spun around in midair. Kisame quickly landed. As he did, he looked up to see the brat was not standing on the toad. He looked in the air where Naruto was spinning around slowly. What scared him was Naruto's stance. That's Getsui Dansu, Shinkabatsu, Naruto cried, swinging his sword at Kisame. Kisame felt the whole area get hit by that attack. This is Kiri's. Impossible. Even though it is a C-rank kenjutsu, only members of the 7 swordsmen know this technique besides the Mizuki. So how in the hell did he know that? Kisame deflected the blast, and jumped to meet Naruto head-on in a kenjutsu and taijutsu. Kai, Naruto shouted as the restraints around his body, the same things that Sasuke wore during the Chunin exams. For Naruto, I'm calling them restraints, drop and Naruto's speed increase. Soon Naruto became a blur. To many Shionbis they could barely keep up with Naruto and Hashigaki Kisame. Itachi stood on the rail watching the battle with interest. Naruto was truly amazing. To think that boy was hiding so much potential and power from the Sandaime Hokage and the ANBU was a feat like no other. Tusan, what's going on? I can't keep up. Hanabi asked. Her Byakugan activative. They've entered combat in taijutsu and kenjutsu. Amazing, by the looks of Naruto-sama's taijutsu form, it's very close to our own. He also has the advantage and is forcing Kisame back. Hayashi replied, watching the battle. However, he could barely see what was going on. He didn't think it was possible for such a small boy to wield such power. Many jounins among the crowd and the ANB were having a hard time enough keeping up with the two. Many of them would reply what was going on. Even Kurenai and Asuma couldn't keep up. Their eyes showed shock and surprise to see Naruto going one-on-one with a S-class criminal. One who was equally on par with the Yondaime Mizuki. Kisame jumped back panting. Where the fuck did you learn kenjutsu? Not from this village, I know that for a fact. You know, moon dance, crescent flower, hidden dance, and white Sunday. These are kenjutsu styles known only in my old village. Who taught you? Guess there is no point in hiding it. During my mission to Wave I tracked down and confronted Momochi Zabuza, also known as the Demon of the Mist. I found him in Gato's hidden Mashion. He then told me about my heritage and told me he owed a debt to my mother and started to train me as repayment. However, he could not finish my training. I learned much, but not enough. To complete my training, he gave me scrolls and this sword, Kikken. A sword he stole from the Mizukage vault. The greatest treasure amongst the Mizukages. I believe this was wielded by the Shodaime Mizukage. I soon started train in every jutsu, every style he knew, along with the copy of the Kiri's forbidden scroll. So to answer your question, my first sensei, Momochi Zabuza. Naruto replied as he drew Kikken and charged head-on with Kisame. That forbidden scroll of our village has mostly advanced kenjutsu and water jutsu. Plus healing jutsus that can rival Tsunade's or go even greater than hers. This brat has a copy? I must. Kisame was too close to Naruto as Naruto shouted Kaze Kadu. Kisame felt himself getting ripped apart as a strange vortex appeared in front of Naruto, and was moving at high speed. What is this jutsu? I feel this jutsu he's going too impossible. No Uzumaki was this gifted at such a young age. Kisame swung his Samahata in desperation and the sword hit Naruto in the head. What shocked everyone was Naruto disappearing in a puff of smoke. Everyone was confused because they didn't see Naruto make a Kaige Bunshin. Kaze Kirite! A voice rang out. From underneath Kisame then saw the attack coming. He jumped out of the vortex just in time only for another jutsu to hit him in the back. Suetun, Suryuden no Jutsu. Kisame was blasted into the wall, and the water soon started to die down. To everyone's shock, Kisame's shark summoning was tied down to the floor with chains. Naruto sitting on his head. This brat merely used his summonings as a distraction. I never thought that was possible for a brat to be so gifted so young. No Uzumaki has ever accomplished such a feat, not even your mother, the prodigy of the Uzumaki clan, was at your level at your age. When we meet again, I am going to bite your head off. The shark replied, disappearing in a puff of smoke. Naruto's summonings, however, remain, watching the fight with interest. Kisame got up and stood near Itachi. Kisame grinned angrily as Naruto walked towards him. This brat, he figured me out so quickly. Not even his mother could do that. I have no choice, I must use that jutsu. Kisame set down his Samahata and formed seals at a rapid pace. Unfortunately, Itachi noticed the seals Kisame was forming. Stop, Kisame. Our orders are to take him alive. That jutsu will. Itachi never finished as Kisame formed a ram seal and cried. Suetun, Sayatsu Kahatsu. Water started to from behind Kisame and move at a fast pace. What is this jutsu? I can see you've never seen or heard of this jutsu before, Uzumaki-sama. That's because this jutsu is my own creation. My own design. The jutsu that put your mother on a very thin line of life and death, and the jutsu that killed the 3 Uzumakis. Moving faster than 400 miles per hour in a second will destroy anything in its path. Say goodbye. Kisame shouted. The jutsu fired with massive wind pulling everything in its path. The wall quickly got destroyed, however the jutsu continued, taking the trees and the earth as well. Finally no one could see it anymore, but they could hear it continuing. Before anyone could say anything, Kisame let out a scream and clutched his right shoulder, which was dripping with blood. I cannot believe you made me use that jutsu. I was saving that for later. Naruto replied, looking at Kisame, who fell to his knees. Itachi's eyes were open wide in shock. Shocking, he couldn't believe what he saw. Just as Kisame's jutsu hit him, I thought he disappeared. He made no seals or hand seals. What happened? Hayashi was just as confused as Itachi. He noticed Naruto was in 2 places at once the moment Kisame's jutsu nearly touched him. What technique did he use? Was it a jutsu at all? The Sandaime Hokage along with several other shinobis were just as curious. How did you evade that jutsu? It's the 3rd fastest jutsu out there. You might as well put it as the 4th fastest. This jutsu I used is even greater than my father's Hirishin no jutsu. Nani? Kisame shouted, his eyes open wide in fear. Many shinobis also looked shocked. Shortly after I learned about my father, I learned of his Hirishin no jutsu. I also heard of the stories about how he used a jutsu that allowed him to kill 100 ninjas in a second. I also wanted to learn this technique. However, I knew I would never get it in time. So I turned to another method. I watched ANBU and many jounins use shunshin. I studied the technique behind this jutsu, and soon discovered how to preform it. The person who was the most helpful was Hatake Kakashi, who would always use shunshin to appear and leave Team 7. I just completed this month. I call it Shuinpa. That's why I like to be called Kanpaku. Naruto replied calmly. Why, you little, Kisame growled as he swung his sword at Naruto. That's useless. Naruto replied behind Kisame. Kisame was holding his wrist, which had been severely cut by Naruto. Kisame kneeled down holding his wrist that was bleeding very badly. As if time itself has stopped, I can move anywhere, lightly without sound, and attack anyone I want to. Naruto replied as he reappeared next to Kisame as Kisame's stomach was cut wide open. Everyone was shocked to see such a technique. Many who have seen the fourth technique knew this was even greater. That means many of my techniques won't work on him. All this time, he was merely toying with Kisame. How powerful is this boy? What does Kisame know that I do not? Naruto pierced his kick into Kisame's shoulder after he brought up his hands to block the blow to his chest. That wasn't so smart, Hashigaki Kisame. Let me explain, the killing blow could have given you less pain. Now, you are going to feel your body get destroyed from the inside. Kikin has a very unique ability for people who have wind element chakra. Currently, as long as my hand remains, the blade is releasing small blades of its own. These blades are not visible, even to the Byakugan and Sharingan. There are millions of blades, each 10 times smaller than red blood cells. However, that's not what makes them deadly. True, it doesn't attack the flesh. They attack the cells, destroying them completely. That's why I don't use S-class wind jutsus. Because the sword will become a double edge for me. Also, the level of this attack is cellular. Naruto replied calmly. Kisame's eyes opened wide when he heard that. True to Naruto's words, he started to feel it. His shoulder went completely numb, now he was starting to feel it in his arm. Don't bother, Itachi. You can take those kunais and shurikens away. I can see your every movement. Naruto spoke out without looking at Itachi. Itachi remained to have an expressionless face, however, dropped the weapons nonetheless. Itachi, do you know why Hashigaki Kisame was boasting about killing 3 Uzumakis, and why he was so afraid that if he didn't use his full strength he would lose? Naruto spoke calmly. Everyone was looking at him. Uzumaki was a clan of some sort? If so, did they come from the mist? This thoughts rang through everyone's head. Itachi said nothing, but Naruto took his silence for a yes. We Uzumakis are born with an IQ over 200, marking us as genius. In fact, the person who created the 7 swordsmen of the mist was an Uzumaki swordsman. However, in the mist and any country around mist, they all know about the Uzumakis and fear their legacy. Unlike the 7 swordsmen, they never sought out to increase their legacy, and just keep it minimum as possible. In fact, the name Uzumaki is more respected and feared in mist than the 7 swordsmen. They get more respect than the Mizukage and Kiri's Daimyo. The Uzumakis lived in the country of Whirlpool. They were also known as the Guardians of the Sea. Then a little over 20 years ago, the Sandaime Mizukage wished to have the Uzumaki blood for his future children. He wanted to marry an Uzumaki and claim the Uzumaki clan for his own. The Uzumaki clan, however, was very strict with marriage with people on the outside of the clan. They refused the Sandaime Mizukage. This of course made the Mizukage angry that someone would dare say no to him. He then declared they were traitors and helping the enemies. He ordered his entire army to hunt them down and destroy them. In his mind, if he cannot have the blood of the Uzumaki, then they shouldn't be allowed to exist. The Uzumaki clan, however, was very small. A few months beforehand, the eldest Uzumaki passed on, leaving only 7 members left. It was a number game. The 7 swordsmen of the mist were leading over 50,000 men against only 7 people. To many people here, it seemed this would end quickly. However, it took nearly 3 years for Kiri's army to come up on top. They killed 6 Uzumakis while the youngest was urged to escape to the Bloody Crusade. The person who escaped was my mother, the youngest one. Uzumaki Kushina. However, Kiri's victory cost the Sandaime Mizukage dearly. Only a couple hundred shinobis remain. It took nearly 3,000 men just to kill the first Uzumaki. If you haven't guessed why we are feared Itachi, then I shall tell it, not because of our brains or our abilities to adapt in situations. It are chakra powers. Naruto replied calmly. Everyone who took this information looked completely shocked. Many have heard of the Bloody Crusade but didn't know what it meant. The water Daimyo had a tear come from his eye. The Sandaime Hokage is proclaimed the strongest and wisest of the Hokages. Called the professor because of that. However, for me, because of my mother's blood that runs in me, I have the ability to become even twice as smarter and perhaps 3 times stronger than he was in his blood. Itachi's eyes opened wide in shock. As did many other people. We Uzumakis are feared, because our chakra levels went beyond Kage's level. In fact, we can even take on Bija and come on top. Some called our chakra godlike just because there doesn't seem to be a limit. I will continue to grow and continue to become powerful, never reaching any prime. My prime, if I live at full age, will be when I die. Nearly everyone back away, unable to believe what they heard. That's one reason why marriage was so strict for Uzumakis. Also, it's why they didn't spread their name. Because the best time to kill an Uzumaki is when they are young with barely any chakra. If people knew their name, people would target their children. Many disappeared for a few years until their children are strong enough to look after themselves. Not everyone can marry a Uzumaki. The child born with Uzumaki blood must be able to handle the intense chakra. If they can't handle it, then they will die at birth. The Sandai Mizuki's blood cannot blend with the Uzumaki's because his children would have died at birth if he did marry a Uzumaki. Now you know I'm the last of the Uzumaki's. And why the line will die with me. Itachi couldn't help but be simple amazed by this. He knew Kisame got into the Seven Swordsmen because he managed to kill 3 Uzumaki's. At age 16 he did something no one in the mist could do. However, Kisame never told him what it was. It must have been something huge to be promoted to Jounin from Genin, then immediately join the 7 Swordsmen. Now he couldn't believe what he heard. If Kisame killed 3 people at Kage level or higher, then how would this be if Naruto surprised his family members? Hi Shigaki Kisame, truth be told, I had no interest in fighting you. Now after learning you put my mother near death, I will kill you to regain her honor. Naruto then called forth the wind and a sword appeared in his hands. Kisame, today you will die. Naruto cried. Naruto was about to swing when he stopped. That was impressive Itachi, however, genjutsu is useless on me. Such a waste of chakra. What do you mean? You mean you haven't realized? Very well, I shall tell you, for all genjutsu to work, you must control the opponent's chakra. However, for genjutsu to take effect, the opponent must see it. Since I am blind and see in a chakra sense, genjutsu has no effect on me. That doesn't explain how genjutsu doesn't work on you. It's simple Itachi, 95% of all genjutsu takes effect when the eye sees it. If you cast a genjutsu in an area when ninjas are approaching, it won't take effect until they see it. If they don't see it, then they are not effective by it. In other words, the eye must see it for the genjutsu to take effect. However, since I'm blind and can't see but use chakra to see, genjutsu is useless. I never knew that. Kurenai replied. Many nodded in agreement. That means Tsukiyomi is useless. I'll just be wasting chakra on him. That means I have no choice. Even though I have yet to enter combat, I know he has a huge advantage over me. I have no choice. Not only that, if the Leaf capture me, I know Ibiki will be able to extract information from me and they will learn everything they need to about Akatsuki. Tsukiyomi, Amaterasu, Itachi cried. Naruto felt chakra around. Before he could do anything, he got hit, was flying towards the wall and black flames covering his body. Everyone realized at once Itachi just killed Naruto. It took a few moments for everyone to finally understand. Naruto was died. Itachi was panting. He was forced to use a jutsu that nearly cost him his entire chakra. You're an interesting child. A woman's soft voice replied around Naruto. For the first time, in 8 years, Naruto could see. Where am I? A borderline between life and death. The voice answered. Naruto chuckled. So I died, never thought I would die so fast. What was the technique Itachi used on me? He used his Manjikyu Sharingan Graceless Ninjutsu attack, Amaterasu. It's instant and very few are able to dodge it. That fact is, if you could see like you could now, you would know it would have come. Because you could not, you were a split second late in countering and escaping the jutsu. Who are you? There was no response. Instead, a young beautiful woman appeared with long raven hair wearing a white robe. I am the goddess of the sun and light, Amaterasu. Naruto's eyes opened wide, which amused the goddess. I do not appear before humans much, Uzumaki Naruto. Normally Shinigami does. However, because you were hit by a small taste of my power, I am able to talk to you before Shinigami comes for you. Because of this, I'm offering you a chance. A chance to return to the world. Amaterasu-sama, what's the catch? There is no catch. You will be needed back in the world of living. I am not like Shinigami-san. Do you want to return and complete your master plan? So you know about my plan. I guess I shouldn't be surprised seeing how you're a goddess. Much as I would love to move on, I accept. Amaterasu smiled and Naruto felt himself getting pulled. In a vortex Naruto went. Naruto felt himself spinning and moving faster. Very few humans catch the eyes of the gods Uzumaki Naruto. Because of this reason, my power shall become your power. When you return, the power of the flames and sun shall be absorbed by you by the black flames around you. You will need this power to help you. Good luck, child of destiny. Amaterasu's voice replied before fading. Naruto then felt his body was burning and soon was getting absorbed in his body. Kisame pulled the sword out of his shoulder and looked at Naruto. I cannot believe the idiot got hit by that jutsu. I half expect him to disappear and attack you, Itachi-san. To take a direct hit from you Amaterasu is sad. So the last Uzumaki is dead. Kisame, we have to pull out, before the leaf A and B you get on our tail. Itachi and Kisame were about to leave when they both froze. Chakra was leaking out, and it was massive. They both turned around to see Naruto getting up. The black flames dance around him like he was controlling it. They then wrap around his body and Naruto breathed it in. That's impossible. How in the hell did the brat just consume your attack, Itachi? Kisame shouted. Naruto then lifted his forehead protector and opened his eyes. Pale whiteness glared at the two criminals. Kisame took his Samahata and took a defensive position. Kisame, that's enough. The mission is a failed. Fighting any more will lead to our deaths, and might I add, it will be a meaningless death. We are withdrawing before we get ninjas that will annoying to us. Let's go. Very well. This is far from over, Uzumaki-sama. I will claim you head and kill you. You kill me? That's funny. Naruto replies calmly. Itachi and Kisame faded for a bit before disappearing. Naruto said nothing but walked towards the